turf war as well. South would love to make this their full-time home ground, and it borders the heartlands of these two proud foundation clubs. So South will kick off with Latrell Mitchell. He scored those 2 tries last week. Can they start 2 and zip? Can they condemn their bitter rivals to zip and 2 on this 26th season? Underway on Friday night here at the Sydney Football Stadium on ABC Sport, and Sydney Roosters with first use. Collins with the first run, and he meets Totola, and also in there Aiken, 12 out from his own line, 20 in from the western side. You can text as always 0467 920 222. Messages of support to Andrew Morris, who battles the roadways to Bathurst tonight. This is NRL Friday on ABC Sport. There's a run from Nafahu Watt on play 3. The Roosters go up centre field, 35 out. He's tackled now. As you hear, referee Adam G through our referee effects, and now they come left-hand side of the park. A little run now from the hooker end, Benaya Uwelu. Up the left-hand side now, the short side, and again, tackled ball and all. Down here is Collins. He'll play it. Now the last play kick comes from Cherry Evans. He bombs it higher down towards that northeastern corner. There's Alex Johnston. A loud cheer for him. First touch off the high ball, and he's met solidly there by Collins. 10 out from his own line, northern end of the Sydney Football Stadium. Now here is Jai Gray. He slips the tackle in there of Egan Butcher. Early in the count now for South Sydney. Their first set of the game. No score inside the first 90 seconds here on ABC Sports. South carry it here through centre field. Tackled and playing it now, Campbell Graham. Now they come short side right. Here to Jack Whiten, who of course won a Clive Churchill against this mob, the Sydney Roosters, while playing for the Raiders in the 2019 Grand Final. And again they go up Main Street, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Tackle ball and all down there again is Colin Matungi, who was their player of the match last week in Brisbane. Last play kick from Latrell Mitchell. Down to Ronnie Tawaze, and the Roosters go back on the attack here. And Marky Mark bounced off one tackler, gets to the 40, dragged out in from the eastern side. No score, 2.5 gone. Roosters South still all.
Yeah, well, advantage Roosters early on in this one. The first set that they had with the ball roll down the field in terms of their momentum, and then straight away off the back of the kick return, Longani Tawaze can get them almost over the halfway on their third play.
Butcher. Pass across towards Lindsay Collins inside South's territory on play 4 now. They come back to the right-hand side. Walker links up with Cherry Evans, and Rob Toyer, his second touch of the game now, coming back from that pre-season foot injury, and now 22 out from that northern line. Play to Uwelu. It's Nafahu White at speed. Angles his running towards Cameron Murray. Inside 10 metres now, northern end. Opportunity for the Roosters last play. Left-hand side they come. Walker's kick goes up, and Tupou launches. Graham went the other way. It's come loose. Pounced on in the in-goal area. Ref Adam G says...
Yep. Okay, I got no try, mate. But a knock-on from Campbell, and I think it's a genuine contest. Then another knock-on confirmed from Roosters.
So that would be a Roosters ball here, attacking that northern line. Just seeing on the replay here. I thought for a second Tupou had him certainly through the air. They called Campbell Graham stretch for a reason. Ooh, who's hit first?
Well, I think it definitely gets both of them. I thought initially it was Campbell Graham solo, then when it came back to a Roosters play.
Did you originally jump for 2 hands up, moves to 1 arm, there's no interference?
I think it touches Graham first.
That was the
ball's knocked on by Campbell Graham. Just need to see if there's a knock-on from the Roosters.
Only a fraction of a second in it.
Just wait, mate.
It's the little finger there of Daniel Tupou.
So just rocking and rolling this on the replay.
Just checking all of our legs to see if there's a knock-on from the Roosters.
Is there a grounding in there from Junior Ponga? So it comes down off Graham.
Anything at the moment, anyway.
After being knocked on by Campbell Graham, it hits the right arm of Junior.
Yep.
We have a decision.
So as Adam G called it on field there. So 2.5 minutes played. No score, Roosters South Sydney. Touchline we go. Ruan Sims.
Well, a really energetic start from the home side. They've absorbed all the energy that the crowd has brought. But I tell you what, they earned this field position through the work that they did in their defence. You can't see it through the radio, but if you're watching it at home and listening to us, watch the work out of marker. They are hunting hard.
Line drop out South Sydney. High it goes from Latrell Mitchell. Graham launched again. It's come forward off Campbell Graham. Beg your pardon. Made it back off Campbell Graham. Now they pounce on it in that deep in that northwestern corner. Jack White will play it 2 metres out from his own line. And Graham this time is hit solely by Junior Ponga. 5 out from his own line. Get to your text shortly. 0467 920 222. And now Crichton with a big shot. Oh, with some pushes here. Uelu. Cameron Murray deals with Siwa Wong. And there was that big hit down there on Campbell Graham, Dean Hallertau.
It may be a hint of a shoulder charge. I'm not sure if that's what was called by referee Adam G.
Lindsay Collins.
Yeah, Lindsay Collins. He doesn't get the arm up. He just throws the shoulder in. And, you know, we mentioned about the Roosters and their ill discipline last week against the Warriors. This is not what they want.
Let's have a listen.
Okay, Bucky, I've got a shoulder charge, not wrapping. Number 12, Siwa.
Oh, it's actually Siwa.
Siwa Wong. So initially it was Campbell Graham who was dealt with by Lindsay Collins, but
yeah, that might have been the previous big shot that we've seen from Lindsay.
MMG's had a chat to Cameron Murray, and now he's just sort of gesturing towards Latrell and co. Just give me a moment.
Siwa, report.
So Long on report. So, he's in from the side. So he sort of runs front on into Lindsay Collins, but Siwa Wong in from the side with the shoulder. So he's on report, as you heard there. South penalty. They find touch on the western side. Graham across to Whiten. They touch 30 out from their own line. Up through centre field they go through Keon Kalamatangi. Richard is off to the Dragons next year for a 5-year deal. And now his fellow front rower in Tatola. Wrapped up by Siwa Wong, and Uelu stands in the tackle. Play it now 7 short of the halfway. Dummy half Garlic across the right-hand side. Over halfway they go now on this right edge, South Sydney. 42 out from that southern line. It's going to be 6 more here for the ruck infringement. So Cameron Murray across now again to the 5'8" in Cody Walker. And up they go. 40 out, 20 in. Jai Gray will play it now. Dummy half Garlic. Here is Fafita's first run for the night. Takes Plea Roosters to stop him. 28 out from that southern line. South's on the attack. Still no score here. 4.5 played in the opening 40. Comes to the right-hand side now again as Ewan Aiken is brought down. We're still with 3 tackles left this set. Dummy half is the halfback, Jaden Sullivan. Across to the captain, Murray. Tries a little shake and bake there on Uelu and also Butcher. Now at dummy half, Garlic for South Sydney. Back now to Sullivan. He dummies himself now. Stop 5 shy. Last play South, right-hand side of the post. Can they score against the flow here? Open side left, Murray. Shares it now with Walker. Shapes the kick. Now goes into the in-goal area. Walker fields it. Runs back one way. Almost slips over. Now he's brought down. But was there an obstruction in that southern in-goal as Adam G just helped Sam Walker up to his feet?
I think we're going to see a drop. Or maybe there was a question from the Roosters player about a high tackle as he pivots there, Sam Walker, to try and get out of the in-goal.
Walker, he recovers the ball here.
Referee gets bumped. There's a high shot, I think, from Cody. It's across the shoulder, I think, was the call from the referee.
So, that'll be just a line drop out Roosters after all that. Ruan Sims, the touchline, down to you.
Yeah, there's plenty happening to start off this game, but we're going to go back to this kick restart.
Yeah, it's taken by Sam Walker. Goes 20 on the fly. Alex Johnston receives the ball. And my voice will just raise every time he touches the footy front as well. He's tackled 22 out from that southern line. Roosters defending. Rabbitohs on the attack. Open side right they come. Walker now Kalamatangi. And he's collected down there by Lindsay Collins. 15 out dead centre field here at the Sydney Football Stadium. NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Here's to Tola. He backs his way into Angus Crichton. Played now, 9 away, right-hand side of the post. Murray back to Kalamatangi. Collected down there by Siwa Wong on report for an earlier shoulder charge. Flat ball from dummy half, back to Tatola. He's a metre shy now for South. Last play, Rabbitohs. Dummy half, Garlic. Across left-hand side, the kick comes in from Cody Walker, and Tedesco is dragged down by Latrell Mitchell. Just ragdolled into the in-goal, and that will be another Sydney Roosters line dropout. Repeat set South, still no score here, Dino. 7 going first half. NRL Friday on ABC Sport.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about both sides through that passage of play. Firstly, South throwing plenty at the Roosters, challenging them on both sides of the ruck. Really nice kick on the end of things with a good chase to shut down James Tedesco. But the Roosters have also defended stoutly.
Now the crowd's just booing the on-screen announcement. The reminder as this ball bounces down towards Cody Walker. So Souths get the footy back, 25 out, 20 in from the eastern side. The reminder about the $5,500 fines and stadium bans for potential pitch invaders. That's what the fans were booing. And these are the Sydney Roosters fans for the most part. Standing in the tackle there is Colin Matangi. Will play it now 20 out. Dummy half Garlic. His dad played for both of these clubs, of course. Cody Walker across now again. Mitchell goes a fend on Toya behind the back. The pass to Johnston went out over the eastern touchline and
touched by a Rooster.
Touched by the Roosters. So it'll be a South Sydney ball 10 metres out from that southern line. Back to you, Rowan Sims on the touchline.
Cam, you'll play the ball.
Root, down to you.
Yeah, well, the previous play when they were down here before this raid on the left-hand side, Jaden Sullivan was on the right. He was screaming for the football because Sam Walker had gone in to make that great tackle to stop the big front rower getting over. They had space and they just let that one through.
Souths have had possession and position in these last few minutes. We've now played 8 minutes in the first half here at the City Football Stadium. Brett Sprigg, Dean Hallertau, Ruan Sims, dummy half Galley, across to Cody Walker. Inside ball now to Davis for feeder. And he's wrapped up by Yawelu and Siwa Wong. 6 metres shy of the Roosters line, left-hand side of the uprights. They'll come open side right now. Captain Murray knocked down by Angus Crichton. And that will be again more repeat ball for the Rabbitohs, 10 metres out from the Roosters line.
Yeah, just watching here, there's a challenge from the Rabbitohs. I think he actually went the other way, Adam G, and said that it was touched first by the Rabbitohs.
Okay, let's have a listen.
South's challenging, mate. Knock on South.
Yeah, it looked to me like it was Crichton first.
Yeah. He's called it as if, Souths have touched it first on the way through.
It hits the left hand of Angus first, then into Keon. The first knock-on will be Roosters. The challenge
It sort of came out of the breadbasket of Colin Matangi, but it was touched by Crichton first. So it will be a reversal of the on-field call. And Souths with more possession, 10 metres out from that southern line. Earlier, by the way, in Auckland, the Warriors 40 beat Canberra 6. Spiteful game early on here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Scrum feed, South Sydney.
Wait for the break call. Wait for it.
Garlic waits in behind. Scrum is fed. Left-hand side they come. Jai Gray jinks away from Sherry Evans. Slips the tackle. Still going is the fullback. And now he stopped. 5 out. Left-hand side of the posts. Open side right they come. Away from Alex Johnston. It comes to Totola. Takes 3 Roosters into the in goal. And is he held up? Yes, says the ref. Come back and play it. 10 metres out. On tackle 3 here for South Sydney. Well, they're hot after a slow couple of minutes. They've made it count. Still no score though. Roosters Rabbitohs here on ABC Sport. Murray will show and go. Takes it to Regan Butcher. He'll play it now. 5 out. Straight in front of the uprights. Garlic fires the pass left-hand side now again. Cody Walker. Siwa Wong's got him on that left-hand side, the Alex Johnston side. Cody Walker plays for Garlic. Back to the right they come. Here's Colin Matangi. And an angled run here into Crichton. This will be last play South. 7 metres away from the Roosters line. Open side left now. Cody Walker lost his footing somewhat now. Spun the tackle of Butcher. And he's put down there. It'll be a changeover. 10 metres out for the Roosters. They get possession back. And it remains after 9.5 minutes. Roosters 0. Rabbitohs 0. Touchline we go. Ruan Sims.
Well, just watch the Rabbitohs there. They've got so much energy in the tank because they've had the ball for the last 8 or 9 minutes. Watch them go to work here on the Roosters.
Ronnie Tawaze shrugs away 1, 2. Cody Walker slings into ground. 25 out, 13 in from the eastern side here at the Sydney Football Stadium, which is packed tonight, by the way. NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Here is Siwa Wong. And a nice run up that right-hand side. Early kick comes from Yawelu, 40-20. It bounced away from Gray. He bats it back in the field of play. And they'll charge it downfield here, but Gray has plenty of space. The fullback to just bring it back into the clutches there of Toya and also Yawelu. I saw Jai Gray passing comment during the week, Dean Hallertau, about what would happen if there is a field invasion. He says, I hope not, I'll get trampled. So he's not the tallest fella out there, Jai Gray. Up the left-hand side they go here, the Rabbitohs through Latrell Mitchell, and he stopped 20 out, 10 in from the eastern side. Plenty of space through centre field now for Johnston before Crichton gets him, and also Walker. Now, was it stripped away as he was playing it? It will indeed be a Rabbitohs penalty.
Yeah, again, the ill discipline. There's some questions there from Sam Walker. He doesn't think that he did that, but his captain's not having a bar of it. James Tedesco at the back is happy to accept the penalty. Well, not happy, but is accepting of the penalty. So the Roosters, again, ill discipline costing them.
Second penalty of the game for South Sydney. Francis, thank you for your text. Said South played well last game. They'll be hard to beat. Dion, thank you for your text as always. And Justin, listening from Bay 11 here at the SFS, says go Roosters. They find touch just inside Sydney Roosters territory with the weight of possession in this game so far. South Sydney, and they're on the attack once more. David Fafita made light work with an Afahu white tackle and now brought down 40 out. Dummy half Garlic fires it across to Cameron Murray. Escapes Butcher, not so Crichton. He's in centre field, 38 metres away from that Sydney Roosters line. And again, here is Colmatungi getting busy down that right edge and stop 25 out. Play 4 here for South. Dummy half Garlic. Flat ball across now for Sullivan. Now Cody Walker. Left edge they go. It's dropped by Latrell Mitchell. And that was just simply a lost ball. And Latrell, who was good last week, to give the ball back to the Sydney Roosters here. And they'll have it 25 out from their own line. Still no score here. 12 gone first half. ABC Sport on the touchline. Ruan Sims.
Well, that movement out to the left, it just got a little away from them. David Fafita ran through really well, but the ball just didn't quite hit its mark with Latrell Mitchell. He took his eyes off it and unfortunately let go of it. And you just see Alex Johnston and all the fans on that side just ruining that lost opportunity.
Scrum feed Roosters 25 out. Loving the call, says Rooster Can in Balcombe Hills. And good evening, guys. Loving the call. Great to hear Andrew back and doing okay. Up the bunnies from 9-year Genie in Blackwater. On your Genie. Roosters here, bring it through Tupou. 30 out in their own line. Tedesco from dummy half himself gains a quick dozen and eventually stopped 5 short of the halfway. 6 more though for the ruck infringement. So your Waylo dummy half fires it across to Crichton and Whiten onto him straight away. Crichton and Whiten like that. Over halfway here they go. Your Waylo fires it across open side right for the Sydney Roosters. Cherry Evans inside ball back to Egan. Butcher and he'll straighten up here in the tackle and now play it for your Waylo. Across to DCE. Onto his captain Tedesco. Toya looks dangerous. Jinks back on the inside away from Latrell Mitchell. Run down there by Latrell and Cody Walker. 30 out now the Roosters. This is their best set for a little while. Nafahu White needs options and he was taken high. So penalty Roosters. As there's a bit of light remonstration in there as well in this very spiteful local derby here at the SFS. It is still been Hallertau, no score, 14 gone first half.
Yeah, they've elected to go for the 2 points here. The Roosters trying to get a score on the board, but Nafahu White, he showed last year how capable he was as a middle forward, as a starting front rower, and his game's gone from strength to strength, showing a bit of footwork here, cutting back across the ruck, and just a loose one there from Cody Walker to concede the penalty, and now the Roosters through Sam Walker with a chance.
South have had 67% possession so far, and they've completed every set from their 7 trips upfield. Penalty count 2-1. They're at the Rabbitohs, and they've had a set restart each. And Siwa Wong on report for a shoulder charge in the first 5 minutes. But here is the opportunity at goal here for Sam Walker. He's 22 metres out and 17 in from the eastern side. He had a perfect 3 from 3 against the Warriors last week. It was a far from perfect game though for the Chooks. An opportunity to open the scoring here against the great rivals. Harry says, just wondering how the officials plan to ban and fine thousands of different people if they run on the field. Yeah, it's a good point, Harry, and they've not encouraged that by any means. They've got double security here in case it does happen.
But is going to help.
Just, yeah. So, here is Sam Walker. Penalty goal attempt, right foot kick, and it's missing to the near side. And it remains Roosters 0, Rabbitohs 0, 15 gone first half. NRL Friday on ABC Sport, Ruan Sims touchline.
Yeah, I probably think it's a brand new stadium, so I think there's a lot of cameras here. They'll be taking photos of lots of faces if they try and storm the field. But let's get back to the football. There's another ball on the field, so we'll have to wait for that. I think the Roosters just need a little bit of a breather. That's why they went for that penalty goal.
Yeah, and still no score so far in this intriguing battle. Kick goes down through centre field. Waylo traps it, shares it now with Collins, runs back into the defensive line where he's greeted by Colmatungi. And now it's played quickly. Waylo fires it across to the running Crichton. He's 6 metres short of the halfway for the Sydney Roosters. 15 going first half. You're on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Dean Hallertau and Ruan Sims, NRL Friday on the national broadcaster. Here's Nafahu White, wrapped up from behind by Totola. Play it 5 inside South's territory. Walker across centre field now to Collins, and he's brought down as well. This will be second last play coming up at hooker Uelu. Off to Egan Butcher, and he's again ripped to the turf down there by Garlic it was for South Sydney. Running kick, last play, Cherry Evans. They leap through the air. Johnston along and Tawaze. Johnston was there first. Marky Mark went too early, and it bounces out over the dead ball line. And it will be a South's ball. Still no score here. 16 gone first half. It'll be a line dropout South Sydney here at a packed Sydney Football Stadium, Ben Hallertau.
It's such a threat, isn't it? Nawanga Tawaze on that right edge, and well protected by Latrell. Mitchell was Alex Johnston, so he knocks the ball dead. They get the dropout.
Line dropout South Sydney. Let's get to more of your texts. We'll go around the ground shortly as well. Big night in sport across Australia. All the action for us here at the SFS. This line dropout just goes the required 10. Tupou just plucks it out of the air, and the Roosters have it now. 17 out from that northern line, which the Rabbitohs are defending. Dummy half Junior Ponga. Off to Sam Walker, and now Collins. He's collected inside the red zone now. 15 out from South's line. We'll play it there for Uelu. Open side right, Cherry Evans keeps it moving now across to Nafahu White. Stops, props, and now takes on to Toller, and also Garlic comes second man in. Down low for Feta. Nafahu White's only 3.5 metres shy of that northern line. Uelu to Cherry Evans. He guts away from 1, 2, and goes in to score the opening try of the game. They were given 6 more as well, but DCE on that first little look from the veteran, former Manly captain, scores a try for the Roosters. Of course, that is his first as a Sydney Rooster, and the first of the game here tonight. 4-0 Roosters kick to come. 17 and a half played first half on ABC Sport. Dean Hallertau.
Yeah, weren't his teammates happy for him to get across the stripe for his first try in his new colours, and you heard the call come, as you said. 6 again, I think it was offside on that left side. The pass comes from Uelu straight out the front there to Daly Cherry Evans. He throws the dummy, he sends Cameron Murray on his bike. He goes well past him. He has to correct late to come back, but it's not enough. And then on the inside, David Fafita also a bit slow in getting across to shut the gate. And DCE, well done on getting your first try.
Ryan Sims on the touchline.
Well, the Roosters were building for that. They were deliberately sending Nafahu White down that right edge, trying to draw David Fafita in and trying to draw Latrell Mitchell into contact. He did that perfectly. Stepped off that right foot, attacked that space between the 4 and the 5 defender. That's why David Fafita was late getting out of the ruck and late being up off the line, and that's the space that Daly Cherry Evans went to work in.
Walker is 18 metres out here, 20 in from the east. So he missed a penalty a short time ago, and he nails this one, the conversion. 1 from 2 for him tonight so far. It is the Sydney Roosters 6, South Sydney Rabbitohs 0 here on NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Around the grounds in the AFL, second quarter at the MCG. Hawthorn 41 leads Essendon 27. In the A-League men's second half, Western Sydney Wanderers 2 leads Brisbane Roar 1. A-League women, Adelaide and Perth at 2-1. And the second half, Newcastle Jets 2, Sydney FC 1. A reminder, of course, the Matildas in action in their quarterfinal tonight. We'll bring you that. You can find that via ABC Listen. Just look for the green and gold button, or we'll take you there for the second half, approximately, once we're wrapped up here. Of course, all bets are off if there is a delay in the game due to, I don't know, some chap breaking the all-time try scoring record. But there's a lot of things to sort of work out between now and then. Here they go, the Roosters, with a set up to points through Tupou. And he's standing, he's backed by 3 Rabbitohs in defence. Play it now, 22 out to his own line. Uelu, who set up that last try for Cherry Evans. Centre field run gains about 12 or 13. Plays it now to his captain Tedesco. Egan Butcher, and now Crichton is tackled 5 short of the halfway on play 4. Uelu looks short side left. Walker is stopped now in there by Kaloma-Tungi. 40 out, 20 in from the western side. Last play, Roosters. Running crossfield kick comes from Cherry Evans, the try scorer. On the wing for the Wangani Tawaze. Bats it back here. Cody Walker onto it now, though. Oh, stolen away by the Wangani Tawaze. Adam G says, nice try. It will be South's ball, and it'll come back here to the 20-metre line. Roosters 6, South Sydney 0. 19 gone, 21 left first half in Hallertau.
Yeah, I think that penalty came because Cody Walker had just been touched as he was lying on the ground, so almost a voluntary tackle, but I mean, he grabbed at the ball. I don't think there was anyone else touching Cody Walker, but on the ground, the tackle was called by the referee.
Penalty count 3-1 South Sydney in the game so far. It's tapped 5 short of the halfway line. And David Fafita is enveloped down there by Egan Butcher and Siwa Wong. He was placed on report, Siwa Wong, for a shoulder charge on Campbell Graham in the first several minutes of this game. And now Totola has tackled 5 inside Roosters territory. Dummy half Garlic as it swung across here to the left-hand side. Lost now by South and Cody Walker. Pounced on by Lomoni Tawaze. Flick pass back to Tedesco. Evades 1, 2, and now Murray's all over him. 5 short of the halfway. Roosters back on the attack, who have trotted possession across this game, only having 46% ball. That's improved though where it was at 37 or something. They lead 6-0 on the scoreboard. Crichton stands in one tackle, offloads back to Nafahu White. Now Siwa Wong is collected by Cameron Murray. 40 out, 20 in from that far side. Pass comes through centre field again. Egan Butcher up through that centre third again now. He's in the two-man tackle. Coming across in there was Ewan Aiken. Wailu will fire it across the right-hand side. Nafahu White, nowhere to go, and he's stopped down there by Cody Walker. 20 out, 20 in, eastern side. Uwailu, short side out to Desco. Darts back on the inside to within 8 metres of that South Sydney line. This will be second last play. Dummy half, Uwailu goes himself, and he is a metre shy. Now it's last play. Roosters who lead 6-0 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Short side right, little kick from Tedesco. In fact, came off Mitchell, still alive. Coughed up into the path of Jai Gray. Adam G says it was knocked on by Tedesco, I think he's saying.
Then knock on you.
Knock on for Roosters. So Tedesco's arguing the point there, Adam G. Let's have a listen. Captain's challenge, I reckon.
Okay. Chris, last tackle, mate. Yeah. So I've got an offside penalty, mate, from Latrell prior to a potential knock-on. It's not a charge down. He tries to catch it. Yep.
Who's challenging this?
Yeah, we're going offside.
So is South challenging the call of offside?
Over here.
Oh, no, they're just going to do it. So it looked as though Tedesco was going to challenge, but he already had a
Playing
penalty.
on-field penalty.
Right, he didn't realise, obviously, when he was
decision that we can rule on.
arguing the case.
There we go.
So it remains Roosters 6, South Sydney 0. We'll wait for this next possession here from the Roosters off the back of the penalty.
Out 10.
Before we get to Ruan Sims down on the sideline. So
Just wait, darling.
Cherry Evans
That way a bit. Over here.
just going to reset them here for our Adam G. And he finds touch. 6 metres shy of that northern line. Can they score back-to-back tries here, the home side, the Roosters? Toya taps, finds Cherry Evans. And now Nafahu White runs toward the post now, and he's brought down 8 metres shy of South Sydney's line. 6-0 the Roosters lead. Dummy half Uwailu, across to Walker. Off to the left they go. It's been coughed up by Egan Butcher. That's strong South defence again. And they bring it away here. South Sydney through Keon Kalamatangi, and now he's been slung to ground as well. Adam G says it was scrum feed South Sydney. Down to you, Ruan Sims.
There's been plenty happening in the last couple of minutes. The Roosters, I think, really using their right edge to work over and get a lot of fatigue into the left edge defence of the Rabbitohs. I feel like they fancy their chances there. We've seen DCE go through. Iowelu almost went through as well. So keep an eye on that as this game progresses when fatigue really starts to set in.
Keen to keep an eye on too. Thank you, Roo. Dean Hallertau. Connor Watson, of course, didn't play many minutes last week. Played, I think, less than half an hour in New Zealand against the Warriors last week. So what role he is to point in, of course, as their utility. If you Uwailu, the preferred dummy half, starting. Up the right-hand side they go, South through Jack White, and he'll play at 30 out from his own line. Mazulis out there, speaking of utilities, doing the relief work at dummy half now for the Cardinal and Myrtle. He sets up behind the tackled player in Tallis Duncan. So the first two benchies into the action now for South. So now David Fafita, swarmed on by Siwa Wong and Rob Toya. DCE was in there as well. 40 out, 20 in, still inside their own half here, South. So on the second last play, a run from Kalamatangi. Stop 9 short of the halfway. It's the Roosters 6, Rabbitohs 0 here on ABC Sport. And this high bomb comes up from Latrell. It almost touches the roof of the grandstand. Comes down there for Tedesco. Batted back by Cameron Murray. And South keep the ball. That will be a changeover. And Roosters will get it here, 20 out from their own line. Southern and Cody Walker shoved Cherry Evans. Penalty Roosters.
Yeah, unfortunately there from Cody Walker. A little bit of a red mist moment coming over the eyes. I don't know what happened on the ground, but obviously he gets tackled with it on last, and Nwangani Duase comes over to finish things off. He takes exception to that. It was well placed or well positioned from Daly Cherry Evans to come up with that tackle as soon as Cody catches the ball. But the relieving penalty for the Roosters, having just got the ball back, is something that Cody Walker will be regretting.
Penalty count 3-all. We've seen a total of 2 set restarts to 1 the Roosters' way. Scoreline 6-0 Roosters have possession now just behind the halfway line. Rob Toyer taps and runs the footy here up inside Rabbitohs territory. 20 in from the eastern side. There is Watson at dummy half, and he sends the pass across here to Siwa Wong. So early action for Connor Watson in the bright, maybe pink or purple, those boots of Connor. That comes across open side left here. Egan Butcher, Walker, back on the inside now for Angus Crichton. Game number 200 for Angus Crichton tonight. His first 55 as a South Sydney player. Play quickly here. Watson on play 4. Off to Walker. That's Sam for the Roosters, and he's collared by Cameron Murray. 15 outs in the field. Watson dummy half. Off to Cherry Evans. Flat ball in close quarters there for Siwa Wong. Almost dragged a few with him towards the goal line. He's 5 shy. On the last now for the Roosters to lead 6-0. Watson feeds it right hand side. DCE's kick batted away by Jai Gray over the dead ball line. So it will be a line drop out South Sydney. The Roosters lead those 6-0. 14 and a half left in the opening 40. Touchline we go. Ruan Sims.
A really smart kick by the veteran there. He knew that Jai Gray was stuck in that tackle previously, and Jai Gray did beautifully to get there and bat that ball out. But I can see a lot of fatigue here in this Rabbitohs outfit. But watch for this restart, because Latrell Mitchell has been nailing them.
Oh, not this one, Roo. Right on cue. The first curse for the year.
Wow! No, I think Jonty's was worse earlier. Sorry, Jonty. I'm just gonna brush that.
So more ball here for the Roosters. Crichton will play it 10 metres out on that left-hand side. Junior Ponga, who of course was the relatively late in. Billy Smith was ruled out yesterday for his e-bike accident. So concussion symptoms, and he'll miss this week and probably next week as well. Watson goes from dummy half here himself, takes on Jai Gray before he's tackled ball and all, 6 metres short of the post northern end. And now Egan Butcher dummy half. Offloads back to Lindsay Collins. The big fellas combine here. Tedesco bats it back. Ponga to the left edge now. Tupou darts on the inside. Too quick for Graham and too strong for 2 other defenders, and scores the try for the Roosters. Daniel Tupou with his 184th career try. Can't forget he's the 4th most of all time. It's Roosters 10, Rabbitohs 0. Kicks to come, Chooks, 13 left first half. NRL Friday, ABC Sport, Dean Hallertau.
Yeah, well, they've had a mountain of possession as this half has gone on, haven't they, the Roosters? And a number of repeat sets. They get one from the miscue dropout from Latrell. They go straight on attack mode, and it was Egan Butcher comes up with a late offload, and Lindsay Collins promotes the ball further to James Tedesco. A little bit of across the ground, but Junior Ponga comes up with a nice pass out wide to his winger there in Tupou, who recognises all the cover defence coming across, almost one behind another. He cuts back hard off the left foot, and it just opens up a huge passage for Tupou to get through and add to his tally.
Back to the sideline, Ruan Sims.
Sometimes a little bit of chaos is all you need to get the result you want, and that's exactly what happened. They kept the ball alive. It was a little bit chaotic in there, and the Roosters were just the ones that held their nerve, and they came back against the grain. I think Tupou did really, really well with a lot of attention on him, showed great strength there to get the football down nice and cleanly. But it was a little bit messy, it was a little chaotic, but I tell you what, it's still worth the same amount of points.
Yeah, talking about chaos, Egan Butcher at dummy half. He had offload. The Roosters kept it working, and of course their veteran winger Daniel Tupou scoring their 2nd try tonight after Cherry Evans in the 16th minute. Now Tupou in the 26th minute. So now Sam Walker is 19 metres out now, 15 in from the western side right in front of us to make it a 12-0 Roosters scoreline. This after Souths had 67% possession at one stage in this game. Walker, right foot kick on the angle, makes no mistake. Roosters 12, Rabbitohs 0 here. NRL Friday on ABC Sport, coming to you live from the Sydney Football Stadium. Earlier in Auckland, the Warriors 40 beat the Raiders 6. Off to the SMS line 0467 920 222. Rog at Storm King. Just wanted to wish Andrew a safe trip tonight. Enjoying your call. Looking forward to the Lithgow call. Bathurst call, he means. Yeah, Bathurst. Rog, tomorrow for the toys. Hope they're going okay. Hope you're okay there, Maury and Ralphie. And driving to Bathurst. I think Matthew Elliott's off there as well to join Michael Karianis for our NRL Saturday program tomorrow, and of course the call from Bathurst. Now it comes back to Lindsay Collins from the kickoff. So the Roosters have sort of seized control of this game here with 11:40 left before half time. You're with Brett Sprigg, Dean Hallertau, Ruan Sims here on ABC Sport. Lost by Tupou when they play the ball. Possession now coming here for South Sydney. Looking forward to seeing Makasini in action tomorrow, says Filthy Phil, one of our loyal West Tigers. Yes, indeed. We'll be at Leichhardt tomorrow. Same trio, you, me and Roo. Seeing Hemasi Makasini, who of course debuted in round 27. He wants Rookie of the Year, and he was very impressive in the pre-season, in the trials, and a nice asset, the 18-year-old for West Tigers, who of course face the North Queensland Cowboys tomorrow. They'll set the scrum here, Souths. 22 out centre field. They trail 12-0 at the hands of the Roosters. Left-hand side they come. Jai Gray with some dash. Run down, though, by Cherry Evans. And coming the other way was Siwa Wong. 15 out, 12 in from the eastern side. Latrell Mitchell, dummy half. Off here now for Cameron Murray. In fact, it's Ewan Aiken who'll play it now. Zelos dummy half. Now it's Murray to the right-hand side. On now through Tallis Duncan. He's 5 out right-hand side of the post. On play forward now for South Sydney. On it comes Cody Walker. Cameron Murray. Flat ball Aiken. And he stopped 6 out left-hand side of the post. Couple of plays left south. A dummy there from Mazurs goes to the left. Little ball down to David Fafita. He's spun to ground by Collins. We'll play it now. 3 out from the Roosters line. Running kick comes across from Sullivan. Tupou leaps up in defence, and he's now tackled to the in-goal area, so it will be a Roosters line dropout. They lead 12-0 here, Dean Hallertau, with 10 left in the first half at the Sydney Football Stadium.
Yeah, great touch there from Jaden Sullivan. Obviously, new to this club and in the number 7 jersey. Pops it over the top. I thought he maybe got it wrong, but Tupou in the air lands with the defence arriving or the chasers coming through. At the same time, they're able to force him back in and get the dropout.
So, the short dropout here on the Roosters and Sam Walker. It goes about 15 metres, taken by Campbell Graham. The Roosters' defence was slow to wrap him up. They do eventually. 12 out from that southern line here at the SFS. Sullivan on to Kaloa Matangi. They collide with him. 13 out right-hand side of the post. Play 3 here for South, who trailed 12-0 at the hands of the Roosters. Right to left they go. Cody Walker. There's Mitchell on to Alex Johnston, who strolls over the line and into rugby league history. Alex Johnston stands atop the mountain alongside the great Ken Irvine as rugby league's greatest ever try scorer. His teammates swarm him. The crowd stays put for now, which we expected. It's not his yet, the outright lead, but it's AJ 212. It's a celebration, a moment for Souths fans, for Alex Johnston, his teammates, as he levels Ken Irvine, and he is the code leader for our all-time greatest try scorer. It's 12-4, kick to come, South Sydney.
Well, Cole Spring has a great moment there, and the applause is still carrying on here for Alex Johnston, as it rightfully should. It was a really nice shift to their left-hand side. The Rabbitohs off the back of repeat possession. They shaped up well. 2 lead forwards going through with the sweep runs that we see every team play, but they executed it well. Then it gives Latrell enough time to position his winger with enough space to get around his opposition, and Alex Johnston equals the record.
8 minutes left in the first half. 12-4, the kick here for South. Mitchell is 20 metres out and 20 in from the eastern side. Well, there's the first one. That's most of the monkey off the back, I reckon, for Alex Johnston. He draws level. Latrell Mitchell, left foot goal kick here. Flags are up. Roosters 12, Rabbitohs 6. That sparked them for a few reasons. Ruan Sims down to you on the sideline.
Yeah, it certainly did. And in the modern game, it's really hard to sort of wrestle back control when there is a flow in the opposite direction. But the Rabbitohs did that. When they forced that goal line dropout, you just saw the energy perk back up into them. And the key to this is getting the ball to Latrell Mitchell early. That left-hand sweep, we all talk about it. Dino was speaking about every team runs that line, but getting it to your strike players early allows them to get to work, and it was a beautiful flick pass for him for Johnston.
Alex Johnston just trots back into that far corner of the ground in front of all those South Sydney fans. The LED signs flash up. Congratulations, Alex Johnston. 212 first grade tries, equaling the great Ken Irvine. So, does he make that mark his own tonight? He's halfway there with those 2 tries he needs as we approach half-time. 7.5 left. South's on the attack for Feeder. Play at 20 out. There's Latrell Mitchell again. Big bustling run into that right edge defence. Cherry Evans was in there as well as Blake Steep. And now they come back through centre field. And it is again Ewan Aiken on a 10-metre run. Stop just shy of the 40. His fellow back rower in for Feeder. Stretching towards halfway now. 20 in from the eastern side. Last play for South, who trailed 12-6 at the hands of the Roosters. And that kick does come on the last play. High down towards James Tedesco. 12 out from his own line. Plenty of paddock out there for him. And he goes to fend on Cody Walker. He stopped 20 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Roosters 12, Rabbitohs 6 here on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Dean Hallertau, Ruan Sims. Roosters on the attack through to Wangani Tawaze. Play at Tedesco. On to Tupou. He was their second try scorer. Terry Evans was the first try scorer of the game. But, of course, all eyes still on Alex Johnston. His record equaling 212th NRL try. Ponga, Watson, last play Roosters, 40-20. No, he's just forward of the 40 was Walker. Skids out towards Jai Gray. 6 minutes and 15 seconds left in this opening half. The fullback shares it with Campbell Graham. South hemmed in their own defensive area, 18 metres out, and they'll start their next set from there.
Yeah, there's a real energy that's come into the South Sydney side since that try, and Ruan mentioned how hard it is to wrestle back momentum, and as quick as that, the Rabbitohs were able to jump, outscore a try, but then the carries in the set after were humongous, particularly from David Fifita.
So, right-hand side they come, 25 out, 10 in from the western side. The dummy half, Jaden Sullivan. Of course, he's in the action for Ashton Ward, who misses with an ankle injury. They've had all kinds of issues with their playmakers. Jamie Humphries, of course, and suspension in these early rounds. Darting across field now is Koloamatangi. Tackled there by Watson, 40 out. This will be last play South on their own 40-metre line. Latrell Mitchell punts it downfield. Tedesco, centre field catch, 20 out. Gains a quick 15. Too quick for Johnston, but heaped back there by Ewan Aiken and Cody Walker. 40 out, 10 in from the eastern side. It's still Roosters 12, Rabbitohs 6. 5 left in this first half on NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Earlier in Auckland, the Warriors 40, the Canberra Raiders 6 at Mount Smart Stadium. So, the Roosters still pressing upfield on play 3. That's where Watson waits in behind Siwa Wong. Flat ball across here to Nat Butcher, so he's been put off the bench as well. Left-hand side now again with Junior Ponga. Tried to find the option on the inside, but he was run down by Campbell Graham. Good run though, 25 out. Now it's second last play. Walker finds Tedesco. Graham tackles him, the fullback and captain. And reigning Dalian Player of the Year is stopped now, 15 out. Watson from dummy half. Last play Roosters, 12-6 their lead. Walker, Cherry Evans, now the cross-field kick up. Goes more to Tawaze, but Johnson just manhandles the much younger winger and drives him over the eastern touchline, 5 shy of the corner post. He's doing it in defensive as well, Alex Johnston. 12-6 Roosters, 4:15 left first half, Dean Hallertau.
Yeah, it's not often you see someone like Mark Nwangani-Tawase manhandle, but Alex Johnston's right there on the spot. He didn't lose his patience. He stayed there and anticipated him landing on the ground, and then immediately gets around the waist, drags him over the sideline, much to the delight of the South fans.
Back to the touchline, Ruan Sims.
Well, the key to that by Alex Johnston was he got up and under the football, and as soon as Nwangani-Tawase landed, he lifted him back up and made him really uncomfortable. And that was a really good work by the South flyer. He was fantastic.
3:50 left first half. There's some concerns here from Derek and Ann from Howard, Queensland. Our loyal Texans wondering if you're getting wet yet on the sideline. There's no rain to speak of, is there, at the moment?
No, dry as. It's
okay.
good.
After midnight right, matey. That's going to be us in the clear. Thank you, Roo. Back to you shortly. Tallis Duncan. He's 20 out here from his own line on play 4. And now Ewan Aiken tries to thrust them forward, but taken by his opposite number in Siwa Wong. On the last, the kick does come from Jaden Sullivan. Bounce down towards Tedesco. The veteran fullback chases it to his own goal line here for the Roosters. And now comes across his own 10-metre line, but Cody Walker is first to him, and he'll play at 11 out in line with those southern uprights. Roosters back on the attack. 12-6 their lead here at the Sydney Football Stadium. This is NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Alex Johnston has scored. South's only tried tonight, which means he levels Ken Irvine. If you have just joined us, it's not quite the moment yet as far as breaking the record, but, well, it certainly makes it more of a chance of happening this evening. 30 out now, tackled ball and all is Blake Steep for the Roosters. Now Cherry Evans on the second last play, kicks from inside 40. It doesn't quite get there. Was it kept alive by Johnston? I was out on the full by Cherry Evans anyway. So it'll come back here. South's ball just shy of that 40-metre line. So we've got 2:20 left in this first half. Been Hallertau. It's still the Sydney Roosters 12, South Sydney 6.
Yeah, just watching, I thought he did touch it. Did Alex Johnston as well, but they didn't challenge it, the Roosters, and they're complaining now, but I think that was one that they needed to go upstairs to.
So 2 minutes left. South play the ball 30 out centre field. Can they level the scores here before half-time? Kalamatangi is first receiver, and he stopped 25 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Namazelos dummy half. Across to Sullivan. Now to Cody Walker. Gray on the angled run as well. Now they shift it to the right-hand side. It's Whiten, run down by Ponga. Play it now to Campbell Graham. Tackle 3 for South Sydney. Position well. And now it is with Sean Kepi. So they've used, I think, just about all the bench South Sydney as far as at least one rotation for each of them. Cody Walker across down to Latrell Mitchell. 10 out. Comes back in field. The crowd did rise there for Johnston on the outside. But Fafita has the ball now. And he's put it on his back. 3 out from that Roosters line. Minute 15 left before the break. This is second last play, South. Again, they shift those numbers to the right-hand side. Jai Gray slips under Lindsay Collins. Tackled down there by Nat Butcher. Last play, South. 7 out right-hand side of the uprights. They come short side right. The kick from Mazelis for Tupou. Guards it. Just Campbell Graham almost touched it down in the Roosters in goal area. But it was just gutted dead by Tupou. And it goes out touching goal. So it will be a restart from 20 here for the Sydney Roosters. And those 7 tackles. 45. Oh, big hit from Tallis Duncan on the ball carrier off the tap, Junior Ponga. So the Roosters keep the ball here. 35 seconds left of the break. It's still the Roosters 12, South 6.
Well, he's knocked into orbit there, Junior Ponga. He got a bit of a hospital pass from James Tedesco because Tallis Duncan had lined him up.
Left to right shift here, Dominic Tawaze, and he's taken pretty high there by Cody Walker. Ref lets them go here, Adam G. 15 seconds left towards half-time. A running kick now from Sam Walker. Tedesco chasing through an unkind bounce. Socket away by Connor Watson, though. He's still chasing it. Gray is there first for Souths as the seconds tick down to half-time. 3, 2, 1. And that will do us. Well, that was an exhilarating half of footy here. It wasn't perfect by any means from both sides, but we had a bit of everything. We saw the first 2 tries to the Roosters through Cherry Evans in the 16th minute and Daniel Tupou on the 26th. We had Siwa Wong on report for a shoulder charge on Campbell Graham, which was after about 5 minutes. And then, of course, from that 12-0 lead to the Roosters, who had overcome 60-odd% possession, South Sydney's favour through much of that first half, or the first half of that first half, if you like. Alex Johnston did score at the half-hour mark, and with that career try, 212, he equals Ken Irvine, of course, needs 1 to break that record and give us the moment that, of course, has been in anticipation for so long. Sam Walker with 2 conversions and a missed penalty, so 2 from 3. Latrell Mitchell did convert the Johnston try, which is what gives us our scoreline of Sydney Roosters 12, South Sydney 6. Dean Hallertau, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, there was, you mentioned the possession that the Rabbitohs had early on in the game. The Roosters were able to wrestle that back and convert it into points, so it was a really ebbing and flowing game. Both teams getting their fair share of possession, but I thought the middles from both teams were really the big reason for their progression downfield, and for whenever there was a change, it was through that work that they produced. I thought for the Roosters, Nafahu White and Lindsay Collins started exceptionally. Uelu did a really good job at a dummy half. He was quite good at bringing his forwards onto the ball, looking for the moment to run, the moment to pass, and he was quite crafty out the middle there for the Roosters. And then similarly on the other side for the Rabbitohs, I thought Keon Koloamatangi was outstanding in his stint, like he always is. But I thought Ewan Aiken did a really good job. Yeah. He went from an edge to the middle to cover for the changes in their bench, their rotation, and he worked really hard. He's not a guy that will get a lot of raps for being on the scoreboard in terms of tries or whatnot, but I thought his work defensively and with the ball in hand was really good, as was Cameron Murray. He was a threat with the ball in hand. I thought he led the team really well. So a pretty even first half of football, I would say, and I'm looking forward to what the second half can deliver.
So we saw, I mentioned the imperfect half of footy. For the Roosters, they had just a 73% completion rate versus the Rabbitohs 89%. And it was Spiteful at times as well. Penalty count 3-all. We saw 2 set restarts to 1 going the Roosters' way, and I mentioned Siwa Wong on report. Ruan Sims, you had the vibe check pre-game. We're making the opening 40 minutes here at the Sydney Football Stadium.
Yeah, I think Dean wrapped it up beautifully. It was a very even contest. I think when I can understand why the Roosters were trying to put a lot of work into the left edge of the Rabbitohs, because there is such strike out there. When they get on a roll, they're really, really difficult to stop. So I expect them to go back to that in the second half to try and put a bit more fatigue into that edge so they don't have as much in attack when they do get the football. I think also I have to mention Lindsay Collins played that whole first half for the Roosters in the middle, not shirking away from any of the work, and he was getting involved in absolutely everything. And the Rabbitohs, they've turned up to play. But I tell you who else is playing a few little mind games. Whoever is in charge of the scoreboard, they've got the Roosters 12, visiting team 6.
I did realise that at some point. Yeah, that's unusual. We know who their visiting team is. It's their biggest rival. That's maybe a bit of mind games. Thank you, Root. Down to you for the second half shortly. As I mentioned earlier, in Auckland, the Warriors 40, the Canberra Raiders 6. Now, Dean, at least we did have a pretty close game. Mind you, it was 6-all at half-time in Auckland. It's 12-6 here. But I had a look. So across the first 10 games of our new season, the average margin has been 20. The average points scored 49 across every game. So we want to see a closer game here. We may get it yet, but it's been an entertaining first half of footy here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Your text, welcome, 0467 920 222. Around the grounds in the AFL, halftime at the MCG. Hawthorn 83 leads Essendon 39. A-League men's second half. Wanderers 2, Brisbane Roar 2. Full-time A-League women, Newcastle Jets 3, Sydney FC 1. A reminder, of course, coming up later on, the quarter-final of the Asian Cup, the Matildas v North Korea, and you'll hear that. That's happening over in Perth. You can hear a full call of that starting shortly. That's via ABC Listen. Look for the green and gold button. Otherwise, we'll bring you the remains of that game once we're done here at the footy stadium. Of course, if there is to be a delay in the game, we suspect that if Alex Johnston does break the record, of course, it could cause all kinds of problems for our plans and schedules, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. 12-6, the Roosters and the Rabbitohs here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Right now, time for ABC News.
ABC News with Melanie Scott. The Israeli military says it's launched a new broad wave of strikes in Tehran. Chelsea Hetherington reports.
A series of powerful explosions shook the Iranian capital, with the French news agency describing them as unusually intense. Earlier, Israel said it was targeting regime infrastructure and had struck more than 200 targets in western and central Iran in the past day, including missile launchers and defense systems. Meanwhile, Iran continues to target ships, including oil tankers passing through the Strait of Hormuz, and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah continues to fire missiles and launch drones towards Israel, injuring several people in the north of the country.
Australians with upcoming trips overseas are being urged to remain calm and not immediately cancel or change their flights as the war in the Middle East causes disruptions. Many people with trips planned to Europe in the next couple of months have been trying to change their flights or considering cancelling their trips altogether. Professor of Marketing and Tourism at the University of Newcastle, Mariana Segala, says trying to change the route you could take to prove expensive.
People can fly from Australia via Singapore, Hong Kong, and all the other available routes. But the reality is what? Less supply and higher demand inflates prices. There are alternative routes people can fly, but of course, the limited supply, it does increase the prices.
Meanwhile, medical charity Médecins Sans Frontières says hundreds of thousands of people have been rapidly displaced in Lebanon. At least 800,000 civilians have been forced to flee their homes amid fighting between Israel and the Iranian-backed militant group Hezbollah. The head of MSF in Lebanon, Lou Cormack, says emergency shelters in the country only have 100,000 places, forcing people to sleep wherever they can.
So they're either linking with family members who live in areas that aren't being targeted, or they're moving into informal shelters like unfinished buildings or wherever space they can find it. We see that people are having to camp and just sleep on the streets if they can't find any space.
The UK says it will not loosen sanctions on Russian oil. The US has authorised countries to buy sanctioned Russian oil and petroleum that is currently loaded on vessels at sea in an attempt to curb the economic impact of the Iran war. But Energy Minister Michael Shanks has told the BBC sanctions are important, warning of the consequences of Russian President Vladimir Putin having an opportunity to invest more in the Ukraine war. Fuel industry groups say the recent surge in petrol prices isn't solely due to the war in the Middle East. The federal government will release almost 800 million litres of petrol and diesel from reserves, while the ACCC says it will monitor prices to prevent gouging. Energy Minister Chris Bowen says the move will help ease supply pressures, but Australian Institute of Petroleum Chief Executive Malcolm Roberts says prices were already at the bottom of a cycle and due to rise.
Even the NRMA and the RACQ, the motoring organisations, and in conversations I had with the ACCC today have said, we realise that just before the war we were at the trough of that retail price cycle. So we were in a period of heavy discounting and prices were quite low.
Venezuela and Colombia have cancelled a meeting of their presidents without explanation. Both countries attribute the cancellation to extraordinary or unforeseeable circumstances, but have given no further detail, only noting that they intend to reschedule soon. Colombian President Gustavo Petro has shared a phone conversation with his US counterpart Donald Trump, who wished him success in the meeting. The Australian Live Music Business Council says it's confident music festivals will survive despite a spate of event cancellations. Byron Bay's Blues Fest is the latest to close down, citing rising production, insurance and touring costs. They've brought in liquidators and told ticket holders they're unlikely to get a refund. Chair of the council, Howard Adams, says while it's upsetting news, it doesn't spell the downfall of the Australian music festivals.
I just look at my own kids, they're 20 and 18, they go to festivals all the time, they prioritise them over other things, they make sure they have the money for them, because once you get into that, the experience is really just like nothing else.
And in soccer, the Matildas are gearing up for their Asian Cup quarter-final match against North Korea in Perth tonight. Star players Hayley Russo and Steph Cutley will miss due to concussion. This is ABC News.
Hi, it's Mackenzie Arnold. I'm Caitlin Ford. It's Alana Kennedy. Hi, I'm Claire Hunt from the Matildas.
Get behind the Tillies with ABC Sport for the AFC Women's Asian Cup Australia 2026. Live and ad-free on ABC Listen.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
The Fahu White's only 3.5 metres shy of that northern line. Your Whaler to Cherry Evans. He darts away from 1-2 and goes in to score in the opening try of the game. They were given 6 more as well, but DCE on that first little look from the veteran, former Manly captain, scores a try for the Roosters. Of course, that is his first as a Sydney Rooster, and the first of the game here tonight. 6 metres short of the post, northern end. And now Egan Butcher, dummy half. Offloads back to Lindsay Collins. The big fellas combine here. Tedesco bats it back. Ponga to the left edge now. Tupou. Darts on the inside. Too quick for Graham. And too strong for the defenders, and scores the try for the Roosters. Daniel Tupou. 13 out right-hand side of the post. Play 3 here for South, who trailed 12-0 at the hands of the Roosters. Right to left they go. Cody Walker. There's Mitchell on to Alex Johnston, who strolls over the line and into rugby league history. Alex Johnston stands atop the mountain alongside the great Ken Irvine as Rugby League's greatest ever try scorer.
Rugby League is on your radio. The 2026 NRL Premiership. ABC Sport Digital Radio and ABC Listen.
Oh, we love NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Great to have your company here. It's the Roosters 12 visiting team. That's what the scoreboard says. South Sydney 6. 0467 920 222. Derek and Ann, thank you for your text. Listening to the game from an Outback Creek. Go the Bunnies from Caroline, Albie, Jack and Taylor. They've sent red and green love heart emojis. Some South fans. Brother the Rooster says, come on Roosters. Amazing. Ali and George are enjoying the footy tonight and looking forward to the second half. Claire from Campsie says, after car trouble, we couldn't attend an iftar during Ramadan, so we're blessed to have ABC Sport calling the Roosters Rabbitohs game. Go the Roosters. Thank you, Claire. And hopefully, yes, you have a good rest of your evening. Ants from Levine says, big congrats for equaling the record with the great Ken Irvine. Love and prayers to all my NRL footy family. Thank you, Ants, for swinging across the ditch. Dallas the Panther, huge congratulations to Alex Johnston. Great call as always, enjoying it from the, what's that, Guida River, northeast of Moree. Sorry if I've got that wrong, I'm sure I have. Fishing in the Mason Daily Cod Classic Fishing Competition. Enjoy the second half. Thank you, Dallas the Panther. And those of you who have sent your text, 0467 920 222. Andrew from Hurstville says, hi Grandstand, wondering could there be any changes to the Ken Irvine medal when Alex Johnston eclipses the record? I don't think so, Andrew. I think regardless of what happens with the record, Ken Irvine, at least as the man who held that for, what, it was close to 50 years, it'd be a nice thing anyway, even though his record will be surpassed, if not tonight, then at some time in the near future. But thank you for your text as well. By the way, I mentioned as well the players that have been deployed off the bench. Of course, we have the 6-player pool and the 4 players that they use. So the Roosters have used Connor Watson, Blake Steep and Nat Butcher in that first half, as the Rabbitohs have used Mama Zealous, Tallis Duncan, who put a big hit down there on Junior Ponga, and Sean Kepi. So still wait to see which of those other bench players are used in this second half. You're with Brett Sprigg alongside Dean Hallertau and Ruan Sims, and it is the Sydney Roosters 12, South Sydney 6. Earlier in Auckland, the Warriors 40 beat the Raiders 6, and Luke Lewis gave his 3 points in the ABC Player of the Year to Jackson Ford, 2 for Tanner Boyd and 1 to Tane Tuapiki. Out come the South Sydney Rabbitohs, who are keen to start 2-0 for just the second time since 2019. Dean Hallertau, what are your expectations for the second 40 coming up?
We spoke about the energy levels of the Rabbitohs after that try to Alex Johnston, but the way they went about constructing that try, they certainly had some momentum. The Roosters obviously far better than last week, discipline much better, ball control slightly better. They finished the half with a few errors, but no doubt the confidence for the Roosters is back some. They've just got to be prepared for that energy that the Rabbitohs are going to bring.
I'll head down to the sideline with Ruan Sims very shortly. The players are back out there, and the second half is coming your way in just a few moments' time. The Roosters, of course, who lead the game 12-6. They lost last start, beaten by an undermanned New Zealand Warriors. So the Warriors are 2-0. Nice start to the season for them after their win against the Raiders earlier. And the Roosters kick us off here, and they're allowed boos every time the scoreboard flashes up, reminding people that if you run onto the field, you get a $5,500 fine and stadium bans. Of course, one thing the NRL and the stadiums know is that they can't prevent a sort of a mass flooding event of people, but we'll have to wait and see if that moment does come in this second half. We're underway in the second half here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Tedesco sends it deep. Walker, that's Cody Walker, off to his teammate down there, and Sean Kepi. He's starting his third year at South, ex-Manly Warringah Seagull. That's his first appearance for the year. He was the extra player to the bench after the Ashton Ward injury. So South have possession here, trailing 12-6. There's Fafita. Left-hand side run, spins off Cherry Evans, offloads back here to Sullivan, releases Mitchell on the left edge. Johnston on the outside, open space. They're chasing him. They won't catch him. Alex Johnston goes in to score. It's a moment in rugby league history. A couple of fans trickle on. His teammates envelop him. A few fans are running on here. The stands are emptying. It's pandemonium. Alex Johnston stands alone as rugby league's greatest try scorer. Well, there are a few to start, and now they're flooding on in Cardinal and Myrtle. Most fans still in their seats, but the Sydney Football Stadium is filling with fans to recognise this moment more than half a century in the making. Alex Johnston is up on the shoulders of teammates. There would be thousands of fans surrounding him. Let's get straight downstairs. Ruan Sims, if it's safe to do so, what are you seeing down there?
Well, I'm seeing just a lot of people leaping over the barriers, and it's continuing even though they've been told to stop. They just keep coming in droves and droves and droves. I actually thought they were going to respect the moment and they were going to actually respect the wishes of the NRL not to do it. But I tell you what, Alex Johnston, what a way to bring it up as well. I think it was absolutely fantastic because Wayne Bennett's message at halftime was they wanted to start the way they finished that half, and boy, did they. I think that was a beautiful move down the left edge, a great run to start things off by Dave Fafita. Latrell Mitchell with sticky tape on his hands just gripped that football in the big right palm, set it up beautifully, and Alex Johnston, what he's known for is a finisher, and he finished that absolutely beautifully.
Fans are still flooding on, Roo. Back to you shortly. But yeah, it wasn't a simple catch and dive from Alex Johnston. He had the runs to 30-odd metres. He scores in the first minute after half-time. It's 12-10, kick to come South. So when this kick comes, nobody knows. But they're ushering the South players. Alex Johnston is now back on his feet at ground level. Security surrounding him to keep him safe. There's a big smile on his face. This is a special moment. I know that, there were mixed views about what this would look like. Fans have sort of turned and run back to their seats, so that's a very brief kind of thing, I think, for most people. But the South fans, the South players, surrounded by security. Alex Johnston's in there somewhere. They've come towards the western touchline. I can see it pretty clearly now in front of us. But that is a moment. Alex Johnston, with tries either side of half-time, has broken Rugby League's try-scoring record here at the Sydney Football Stadium. And now fans are running right back in quick number to get off the field, because I think they've been warned. Look, we've got more security here, so it's just a matter of sort of dodging all the high-vis vests and whatever else. So look, I think they've left the field pretty quickly. I think we'll have a resumption here. There's a few plastic cups out there, which is a bit annoying, so that's going to have to be cleaned up as well. There's a few sort of bits of rubbish that have been left behind, but look, they've had their moment. Alex Johnston gets his. Dean Hallett, how it is a significant moment.
Yeah, very significant moment, and pandemonium as we were prepared for. Obviously, a lot of concern for safety of players and whatnot, but the fans are making their way up the field. There's bottlenecks at the exits trying to get off. Yeah. Still a number of fans sort of cutting back and forth across the field.
Most of them got off pretty quick. So if you're hanging around out there like an idiot, that's what's, I guess, the most concerning thing. The players are all safe. Ruan Sims, you're safe down there. I know this is, I do appreciate your insights, Ru. Where's CJ gone? Where's our tech gone? Where are you, CJ? Fair dinkum. Ru, let's get down to, if we can, to our... Hang on, I'll get down to you shortly when I've got the right fader. CJ, let's get Roo. I know everyone knows you're a firefighter. You know about sort of mass evacuations and safety and whatever else. This is not great that fans have lingered. What are you seeing down there?
No, it's not. And actually, to be honest, like Morris is next to me on another radio station, and there's fans coming. Someone has run into me. They've tripped over. They're trying to grab microphones. Now there's more people coming out to the middle, taking their shirts off and running around and being silly. I can see there's some people who have been detained by security. Police are making their way over. This was pretty much what I thought would happen if it was allowed and people actually did it. But there's actually, they're actually running into people and they're trying to grab things and they're jostling people and trying to grab at people who are just here working. So that's really very disappointing. And Anthony Albanese is now striding out onto the field with his Cardinal and Myrtle scarf on. So he's making his way out onto the field to, I assume, go and congratulate Alex Johnston as well.
He is too. Yeah, the PM's out there. This is unusual. Okay. Fans are still jumping the fence, which is just ridiculous. I don't know why. In fact, Glenn Hawkes tried to grab someone. The on-ground MC's tried to grab someone. Just be safe down there, Hawkey, please. Look, we'll leave this for a moment, just ignoring the behaviour of some of the idiotic few, but it is a significant moment. And look, I mentioned before how rare it is. It's happened once in 100 years. Ken Irvine overtook Harold Horder in 1969. So that was 57 years ago. That was when the record was 152. Irvine retired with 70 more tries, 212 in 1973. Of course, Harold Horder actually played most of his games for Souths as well. Horder overtook Frank Bird, the earliest immortal, in one of his 1910s and 20s contemporaries back in 1924. So it is rare to see this change hands. Ken Irvine is looking down and passing the torch to Alex Johnston. Now, this security detail is sort of surrounded the Prime Minister. I'm not sure where he's heading to. Is he going down to the South Sheds? There's just a bit happening down there. People are throwing things, not necessarily at the PM, but in that general direction. I'm not sure what the point of having Anthony Albanese on the ground was for those couple of minutes. That was a bit bizarre. He was waving his South Sydney scarf. I know he's a big South fan, but he's made his way off now. The playing arena has mostly dispersed. We do have, maybe 15, 20 fans lingering, now running back towards their seats. And security are quite forgiving when those fans go back to those gates on the eastern side and say, look, back to your seat, that's enough, you've had your fun. The delay of game's been, 10 minutes or so? So it's 12:10. South kick to come. There's been constant reminders on the overhead PA not to sort of come onto the field. I think, as I say, we saw them disperse quite quickly once the South players made their way off, and then a few fans saw an opportunity and sort of ran back on with their phones and taking selfies and videos and whatever else. And now one bloke's been nailed by 3 security and high vis on the 20-metre line. So this is a significant moment, and I'd say most of the crowd are back in their seats now, which is good, and hopefully the game can restart. But Alex Johnston here in Hallertau has achieved something pretty incredible. 213 tries, and he's achieved that feat tonight against their big rivals, a try that could level the game here. It's 12-10. The players are all back in the shed, so their safety is obviously paramount. And I reckon as they sort of scramble on to the field, some of the ground staff, stadium staff with big bins and buckets to clear the debris, this won't be a significant delay.
No, I think we'll get back underway reasonably soon, but again, for the moment itself, aside from the chaos that ensued afterwards, and Ruan spoke about what a play from South Sydney to set it up in the first minute in the second half. And, he had a long way to travel, Alex Johnston, so the heart would have been racing. Latrell Mitchell did a great job to get the ball away to him off the back of a really strong run by Fafita with the offload. So the try in itself was amazing. And, in amongst that crowd of people, you could see Alex Johnston celebrating the moment. He had his skipper, Cameron Murray, with him the entire time, running, security for him, doing his best to make sure he got to the shed safely.
Hey, Roo, I asked you about the pandemonium itself, and I guess, the fun's over for the fans that have gone back to their seats, which is good. The field has been cleared for the most part. So just a word from you on the achievement itself, Alex Johnston.
I think it's a wonderful achievement. It's been a long time in the making, and I tell you what, he is a quiet achiever in our game, but his name is going to be etched into history forever. I think he's a wonderful person. He's a wonderful player, and to see him surpass the incredible Ken Irvine with such a great play too. It wasn't just a catch and put the ball down. They got to work, and it was a tough try, and he did it so beautifully. But look at this, popping up on the big screen, Alex Johnston, all-time greatest try scorer. That's a great picture. That's a live picture from Chuck, one of the photographers down here, and I tell you what, that is something he will remember forever.
I love it, and I can't wait to hear from him post-game as well. There'll be a presentation on field, if nothing else, for Alex Johnston, and it is something to savour. So, I mean, there's the game itself. It'll be locked up here potentially at 12 points all early in this second half, but that is just a real moment we've been fortunate enough to witness tonight here at the Sydney Football Stadium, and it's finally happened. This had been sort of teased for, the last several weeks of season 25. Dean Hallertau, he came here around 27, hitting 2 to equal, 3 to surpass Irvine's record, and it's finally happened here in round 2. Didn't wait till Good Friday at Stadium Australia. Didn't have to sort of wait for next week at Gosford. It happened here tonight. Book of feuds, v the Roosters. He's scored a very good couple of tries. Not just, as you say, as Rue mentioned, not just a little finish in the corner. It was a very good try for Alex Johnston, and it's a great moment for us to witness here.
It certainly is, Spriggy, and I guess it was all set up for the moment to be tonight. There was a lot spoken about, as you said. It's been going for a little while now, but coming up against your rivals in the Roosters here at the Sydney Football Stadium, it was expected to be a big moment. It was a big moment. Obviously, the fans coming on the field, but it's one thing to expect it and to sort of draft up the storyline, but then for it to actually play out the way it did with, some great team efforts for his 2 tries is really special, and he'll remember this obviously for the rest of his life. But what a rush he would have had in that moment, crossing the line to get it done.
Roll through a few texts here. Anthony Levine says congrats again. Rutherford Russo, congratulations Alex Johnston on the record. A couple of less than complimentary texts here for Albanese. It was a planned thing. I just don't know why it was planned. That's all. He didn't just run on like a punter. He was there with his security, but I just don't understand what that was. Unless he was going to meet Alex Johnston in the middle of the ground and it didn't eventuate because the South players came off. Regardless, it's none of my business. But I was just sort of curious why that was the case. I'll get some more texts when we get a chance. But this is a moment for us to really enjoy, and especially now that the security is sort of bordering the goal lines at either end, just to make sure that no more fans come onto the field. As the TV broadcast rolls on, of course, our broadcast does as well. No ads here, of course, on NRL Friday on ABC Sport, but it is a moment for us to witness here, and a real privilege to bring that to you here. 12:10, kick to come South Sydney. So they're just sort of double checking that they're scanning the field here to make sure that there's been no more debris or little things that could cause problems. You have to be very, minute with these things, don't you, Roo? Just in case that nobody's left anything sharp or anything to cause any issues for the players.
Yeah, you certainly do. So they formed a line and just walked up and down the field. They're just checking that nothing's been left. Look, I saw a lot of people dropping a lot of things on the field, wallet, phones, keys, drinks, all that sort of stuff. So they do need to make sure that the field is clear and the players are able to return to the field safely and continue on with the next 38 minutes of this cracking game.
Absolutely, it's a great game. By the way, the Asian Cup quarter-final, Matildas have scored first. Orlana Kennedy in the 9th minute. So that has happened against North Korea. AFL third quarter, Hawthorn 83 leads Essendon 46. Full-time A-League women, full-time scores there. Adelaide 2, Perth Glory 1, Newcastle 3, Sydney FC 1. So all of that is done. I mentioned earlier in Auckland, New Zealand 40, the Canberra Raiders 6 at Mount Smart Stadium. I've got word too, Roo. Alex Johnston changed his jersey in the sheds. So you sort of saved a good, a bit like the hole-in-one ball in golf. You sort of, he's got the gold number on the back.
That is
nice.
awesome.
That is cool. So he'll play out the game in a special jersey with a gold number, which signifies that he is Rugby League's newest leading try scorer of all time.
I absolutely love that touch by the South Sydney Rabbitohs. That is fantastic. That is absolute top-class quality. I love that.
And I reckon I can see the players in the tunnel as well, Roo, so we should have them back out there shortly.
The Roosters are coming out right now.
All right, great stuff. So what was I didn't write down our time, but that was a delay of... We've had 55 seconds of this second half. Alex Johnston scored a try, and if you have just joined us, he is now Rugby League's greatest ever try scorer. Here come the tricolours, the Roosters out there first. Here comes South, and listen to the roar. Alex Johnston wears a gold number. He wears a Cardinal and Myrtle jersey, and his teammates trot out behind him. And of course, there is still a game of football to win in Allentown.
Oh, that's right. You've got to get yourself quickly back in the game, Mo. But what a moment! It's so hard to imagine the kind of emotion that Alex Johnston will be feeling right now. He's got to flip his attention to what's ahead of him, and that's another basically 40 minutes of football. And both teams would have had a lot of conversations in the sheds about what to do next. What's the approach to get back into things? But he salutes the crowd to Alex Johnston. What great scenes we're experiencing at the moment.
So, where is the kick? Here's Latrell Mitchell. 25 metres out, 10 in from the western side to make it 12 points all. They were down 12-0. And the two decisive tries for South. Alex Johnston tried 212 and 213. Mitchell 1 from 1 so far tonight. Playback underway as he hits that left foot kick over the Black Dots. Roosters 12, Rabbitohs 12. Still, we're just about the entire second half left yet to play.
Yeah, I just done the math. It's about 15 minutes that we were down for in total, so not too bad in the end.
Yeah, I was next door a few years ago when Buddy Franklin kicked his 1,000th goal in the AFL, and that was sort of, look, make no mistake, they were using that as the kind of the comparison for how to handle an event like this. 40,000 people and whatever else. That took about 30, 40 minutes. So, no, look, in the end, it was well done. Some fans are a bit stupid, but it is what it is, and it was a great moment by all who saw it. South get the footy back from the kick-off, and driven back there is Kepi, who'll play it 10 out from his own line, southern end of the Sydney Football Stadium. 12 points all the scoreline here between these old rivals. I mentioned that the Roosters have won 5 of their past 6 against South Sydney. And it's a tight game. That's the most important thing. We've seen blowouts galore in season 2026 so far. And there is Mitchell. Play it now off to Mamazoulis. And it will be a set restart now for South Sydney. 35 out. Open side right they come. Off to that 40-metre line now. And on play 2, tackled ball and all is Ewan Aiken. Plays the Mamazoulis. And now again they go Kolomatangi. 5 inside Roosters territory, midway through the count here for South Sydney. Mazelos dummy half, across to Sullivan, on to Cody Walker. Slip the tackle of Cherry Evans, put down there by Collins, and also making sure of it is Nat Butcher. 40 out, 20 in western side from dummy half Mazelos, and now it will be, in fact, last play, 30 outs in the field. Mazelos fires it left-hand side, running kick downfield Walker, chasing it Mitchell. Not only Tawaze is there first for the Roosters. He hangs on to it for dear life as Mitchell tries to strip it away. And it will be Roosters ball, 10 out from their own line. No penalty forthcoming despite the overzealous sort of defence there of Latrell Mitchell, and now Toya brought down by Kolomatangi and also Sean Kepi. Roosters back on the attack. They led 12-0. Now it's 12-all thanks to 2 tries to Alex Johnston here at the Sydney Football Stadium. 3.5 gone second half on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Dean Hollitow and Ruan Sims. Here's Connor Watson, the ABC Sport friend. 20 out on halfway for the Roosters. Second last play. Flat ball from dummy half goes to Desco, and now Sam Walker steps back on the inside now of Tallis Duncan. Offloads the milestone man Angus Crichton, and he bounced off David Fafita. Brought down here 35 outs in the field. Last play for the Roosters. Comes the right-hand side. Cherry Evans off a couple of steps. High kick towards that southern goal line now. Johnston takes the high ball. Wrapped up down there by Siwa Wong. South will play it metre out from their own line. 12 points all the score line. 4 going second half on ABC Sport.
Yeah, well, Sprigg, neither team has really missed a beat coming back out after that little break. They're right into the swing of things. Their rhythm is pretty good with the ball in hand, and defensively, they're not presenting many opportunities for each other. So a really tense battle of footy keeps going.
Play 4 here for South on the attack. 20 out from their own line. Mazelis with a no-look pass across to Kolomatangi. And now Cherry Evans greets him along with Siwa Wong. So it's last play South inside 30. Mitchell off a couple of steps. That's a high, long kick down towards Daniel Tupou. And the Roosters winger. I mentioned sort of the all-time try scorers list. He's 4th all-time, 184. Scored that try midway through the first half here tonight. The Roosters rumble upfield here. Tackled 5 short of the halfway. Here's Tedesco. It's going to be a set restart here for the player slowed at peel. That was Tallis Duncan. Gives away the set restart. So a full set now for the Roosters. 40 out, 20 in from that eastern side of the ground. 12 points all remains our scoreline. 5 going second half. Watson dummy half. Low ball across here now for Nat Butcher. Inside ball comes from Terry Evans off to Siwa Wong. And he straightens towards that 30-metre line now. Taken by Tallis Duncan and Keon Kolomatangi. Centre field, Watson 30 out. Goes to the left now for Walker. Back on the inside to Blake Steep. This goes, they go up over the 20-metre line now. This time through Nat Butcher on this play 4. Left-hand side, Sam Walker to Desco to the edge now. Junior Ponga dummies crawling, not quite there. Wrapped up by Graham deep in that southeastern corner of the ground. Comes across to Desco, Cherry Evans, and now Blake Steep. Takes on Keon Kolomatangi, and he's brought to the ground now. 7 out right in front of the uprights. Watson dummy half. Walker kicks high to the corner. Tupou leaps up, bats it back, and is there a finish from Junior Ponga? This time it looks like there might be. No. Not convinced as referee confers with touch official, and he's saying he was out. Let's have a listen.
There's no grounding, touching goal.
No grounding, in fact. There you go. So he was taken over the touching goal line, Junior Ponga. And it remains Roosters 12, Rabbitohs 12. We're in the bunker, though, with Todd Smith.
Roosters kick chases onside. Daniel jumps from the field, genuinely competing. Bats the ball back with 2 hands before going into touch and playing on at this point. Junior now takes clean possession of the ball, still playing on.
Didn't see it. Didn't look like there was anything convincing in there. He's wrapped up by White and Graham.
We just need to see what part of the body goes out first from Junior.
His arms on the line.
Junior goes touching goals, no grounding. We have a decision.
That was the on-field call, so it remains Roosters 12, Rabbitohs 12, and it will be a Roosters ball, Rabbitohs ball from that 20-metre line as we get down to Ruan Sims on the sideline.
Yeah, that was a really great effort, a double defence by Campbell Graham. He went up to contest that ball against Tupou and then came down and just helped to stop Ponga from scoring that try. Jack Whiten as well involved. They're up here, the tails are up for the Bunnies.
Sure are. Right-hand side they come, South Sydney towards that right-hand side, and then tackled out there is Tallis Duncan. Well, only 2 players play every game last year for South alongside Jai Arrow. Out of the left-hand side here is Johnston again, comes back infield. Toya grabs him. Also in there was Cherry Evans, played to Cody Walker. This is second last here for South. Fafita gains a quick dozen. Collins got him high, but he'll play it. 40 out, 20 in, western side. Cody Walker Darts back infield, high bomb, down towards Morney Tawaze. Roosters go back on the attack. Oh, Mitchell tried to get him. He ducked the tackle there, Morney Tawaze. Takes on Ellis as well. He's 30 out now. Roosters start their next set from there.
Yeah, you don't often see that happen until Latrell Mitchell got stood up by Nwangani Tawasa, who took him on square on. So, big play there from the winger.
So, here they go. Watson from dummy half. Explodes, gains a quick 15 metres. Now he's 40 out. Roosters here on play 3. Collins, the big fella at dummy half now. Off it comes to Walker and now Crichton. Duncan on him from behind as well. 30 out, 10 in from the eastern side. Second last here for the Roosters. Comes the first receiver, Walker. Now Cherry Evans. Batted forward here from Siwa Wong. Come off his shoulder. He was not ready for that pass at all. It was awkward from Siwa Wong, who was placed on report earlier in the first half as well. It will be possession here for South Sydney. 30 out from their own line, and it is the Roosters 12, the Rabbitohs 12. 8 gone second half after a delay of, what was it, 17 minutes or so?
It's about 15, I reckon.
There we go. Alex Johnston's record-breaking try.
Yeah, just watching Daly Cherry Evans after their pass, he shook his head. It was more on the pass than the catch there. It was a little bit behind, a little bit of a pressure one near the line, so he sort of preempted it. I think there, Daly Cherry Evans, they come up with the mistake, and they've been pretty disciplined with the ball in hand, the Roosters, but that one will give possession back to the Rabbitohs.
From feed South Sydney, right-hand side they come with Jai Gray, who I can happy to report wasn't trampled during that on-field stampede, as he was saying he was fearful of during the week. Tallis Duncan, 8 metres short of the halfway here for South Sydney. Open side left they come. Fatola back in the action now for South. Makes ground inside Roosters territory, takes on Watson, now plays it to Mamazelis. Cameron Murray back in the action as well. Cody Walker, David Fafita. Now the Wangani Tawaze brings him down in concert with Ali Cherry Evans. Within 40, northern end here, Souths on the second last play, and 12 all the scoreline as Cameron Murray with a half break, but he's slung down eventually there by Blake Steep. Last play, South peeled to the right-hand side. Off a step, Sullivan's kick goes towards the corner. Tupou facing his own goal line brings it down. Roosters back on the attack in that northeastern corner of the Sydney Football Stadium. It is the Roosters 12, Rabbitohs 12 here. Can they get free? No. Great defence from Kyle Matangi. Absolutely poleaxed Junior Ponga out there, who will now play it 7 out from his own line. So South's defence won't let up here, Dino. They are strong as ever as they keep the Roosters deep in their own end.
Yeah, they've got their backs up here. A call on time from the referee for
Rob Toyes getting up.
Yes, he went down that tackle. Very physical stuff from the Rabbitohs. Their line speed was up, as Ruan mentioned before. They've certainly got a bit of wind at their sails, and watching the replay, there was potentially a shoulder to head there from Fafita on the outside.
Oh, yeah. Fafita and Murray both come in there, but Fafita made contact.
It's on report.
Yeah, it is. There we go. So second shoulder charge of the game. Penalty Roosters. It remains the Chooks 12, Bunnies 12. 10 minutes played second half. Ruan Sims on the sideline.
Yeah, they're playing with plenty of energy, the Rabbitohs, and that one just lets a little bit of pressure off the home side. It allows them to get cheap meters out and get set up and get straight into some good ball. But I have it on good authority that Wayne Bennett was seen in the shed straight away, and the good authority was my mother, because she's watching while listening to us, and she said she's never seen Wayne Bennett speak so much. So he obviously has his charges right up for this.
Penalty count 4-3 the way of the Roosters. Watson from dummy half. She has it across here to Siwa Wong. Mitchell and Cody Walker stop him as he approaches the halfway now. Dragged towards that western touchline. I can just imagine Wayne, who spoke disapprovingly of the on-field, the pitch invasion. I can see him being like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. Get off my lawn. On halfway here, Watson goes to the left-hand side, and now through hands it comes. Walker to Crichton. Dragged down by Sullivan, 35 out. On that left edge here for the Roosters. Watson to the short side now for Sam Walker. He lost his footing, and with it, he's tackled out there by Sullivan. This will be last play, Roosters. 12 over the scoreline as Walker's kick goes high in the air. Jai Gray launches. And Tedesco coming the other way. Tedesco steals it back. Roosters still alive here. Junior Ponga receives a pass, but I fancy it may have at best come forward from Butcher. They won't rule on that though. It's something else. Let's have a listen.
A knock on from Jai Gray. then I believe James Tedesco knocks it on.
There we go. Double knock-on, so it will be a Roosters.
Tackle count restart.
If that is what Adam G has seen accurately.
I thought it was a pinch, so I thought...
Based on this being our best angle, we're supporting the on-field decision that James is onside. We're playing through.
Yeah, I think he gets the ball off in a one-on-one strip, but then he gets stripped, I think.
It's a clean run to the ball. Both players jump with two hands competing in a genuine contest.
What are you saying, Todd?
Joe gets a touch to the ball, restarting the tackle count. James's hands are always behind the ball, pulling it back.
Now does Tedesco.
We've restarted the tackle count to 0.
Loose carry here as he's tackled by Graham. It's hard to tell from that angle.
Yeah, he's trying to shovel it out there off the ground, so...
Yeah.
He's not quite on the ground when it comes loose.
It was never a grip on the ball here in the right arm, so he loses possession into the leg.
Body language wasn't ever convincing from the Roosters, so it's going to be just remaining here 12 all. On-field call of no try. It will be Roosters ball because knock on.
I think he called it as it's been relayed by the bunker official.
Off the SMS 0467920222. Lee in Brisbane says, "Hi Brett, that was basically a 25-minute halftime break. Probably the next best thing compared to scoring just before halftime. Good call, thank you, cheers." Trish, Roosters Concord. That was someone delivered my gaffer tape and new spectacles. I can't mention that brand, Trish, but thank you anyway for your text. Scrum feed here for the Roosters, 10 out on and 20 in from the eastern side. So it remains here the deadlock of 12 points all. It was 12-6 at the half. Johnston scored before half-time and just after it. After the Roosters scored the first 2 tries of the game, both converted. Comes open side right. Siwa Wong carries it into Cameron Murray and also Mamazelis down there. 9 out, in line with the uprights. Watson dummy half. Nafahu White pressing forward. He's to within 4 metres now of South Sydney's line. Can they get one here, the Roosters, against the flow? Collins brought down now. He's a metre shy. Watson looks up short side left. Walker. That's Sam for the Roosters. Down Sherry Evans. And Mazzella, something like a backpack. Stops him 13 outs in the field. Played now to Watson. Off the right-hand side, Sam Walker. Tedesco in the corner. Flick pass comes through. Toya and the Mongani towards. They can plant it down. Did he stay alive? I reckon he has. Ref says yep as well. Marky Mark puts the Roosters back in the lead. 16-12, kick to come, Roosters. Only 12 gone second half here at the Sydney Football Stadium after earlier a big delay of 15 minutes after Alex Johnston's record-breaking try. But the Roosters go back ahead, 16-12. Kick to come, ABC Sport, Dean Hallertau.
Yeah, well, they're running out of room on their right-hand side, the Roosters, through this shift. But James Tedesco does enough to engage Latrell Mitchell, gets a one-handed flick pass out the back to Robert Toya, who again does a great job to tip the ball on. And Mark Nick Tawasa, he's the only guy that will find that space with 3 defenders coming across. Taking that right foot plant that he puts down just before the line, inside the touch line. That's some great field awareness there from Mark Tawasa.
And it happened not far away from you, Bruan Sims.
Yeah, he handled that beautifully. Had the ball in the right arm as well, away from where the defence was coming from. He's so strong close to the line. Such a powerful player, and he finishes so beautifully. There was, however, some concern for Sam Walker. As you can see now, you can probably see him in front of, just near where I'm sitting, getting some treatment on that left ankle while they're waiting to convert this kick. He's getting it strapped up over the top of his socks and his boot there, so hopefully there's nothing too serious and he'll be able to play on. But I tell you what, that was a really beautiful bit of work there, and Rob Toya, hats off to him, but he got absolutely hammered after he passed this football, and it was a beautifully placed pass as well.
So Sam Walker will take his kick here from right on that western touchline, not far away from you, Rowan, as he's just trotting back here, just getting a feel for that left ankle. Has he got both his He's got both boots back on, so he's just wearing socks. Around the grounds in the Asian Cup, the Matildas 1 lead North Korea 0. The goal for Alana Kennedy in the 9th minute. In the AFL third quarter, Hawthorn 122 leads Essendon 53. This is NRL Friday on ABC Sport. A record-breaking night here at the Sydney Football Stadium. But this game well and truly live, as the Roosters answer back from 2 unanswered tries, both scored by Alex Johnston before and after half-time. Mike Tawase in the 51st minute, and now here's Sam Walker. Missed his first penalty attempt. He's had 2 conversions since then. An opportunity here for an 18-12 Roosters scoreline at the 13-minute mark of this second half. Walker, 25 out, Western sideline, over it goes. That's a good kick. 3 from 4 for Sam Walker, taped ankle and all, and it's the Roosters 18, South Sydney 12 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. 0467 920 222. Lucas says winner's elbow get his $5,000 fine. Chris in Gippy says, how would this have played out if there was only 1 minute left in the game? I want to know, Chris. It didn't happen, so that's all that matters. It's happened now, and we have an enthralling game to see out here at Moore Park. 18-12. South kick off through Mitchell. Goes down towards that northern goal line. Neil Tupou feeds it back. Collins takes the hitter off Kolomatangi into Tola, and the Chooks had possession. 13 out from their own line. And there is Walker at dummy half, and still limping as well. As he got that pass away from dummy half, he just grimaced as he put some weight there on that taped up ankle and foot. Watson dummy half, off to Nafahu White. What he had last year, Nafahu White for the Chooks. Kiwi international. Signed a recent 3-year deal as well, past the 50 games mark in his career. A bit of a trot now for Nat Butcher. The 40-metre line now for the Roosters. Watson dummy half. Goes himself here, does Connor Watson on the second last, and now right smack bang on halfway the Sydney Roosters lead 18-12 in the game. Again, dummy half Walker. Fires it right-hand side. Last play kick from Cherry Evans. Goes down towards Jai Gray. We'll swing it across to Campbell Graham. And he makes ground up towards the 30. And he's been ducked there as well. It's a full moon at the Sydney Football Stadium. Play there towards Jai Gray as they come back open side right here on play 2, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. It's they who trail 18-12 at the hands of the Roosters. And there is Tallis Duncan involved again. 40 out. Dummy half, it's fired across here from Sullivan off the Kolomatangi. Up towards halfway he goes. Play 4 for South. Jai Gray inside ball. Mitchell slipped over. Cody Walker receives it now. Has Johnston on the outside, but Toya spun him to ground. Last play South here. Johnston dummy half. Open side right for Latrell Mitchell. Up goes the kick. Down that northwestern corner along it. Tawase launches and now comes down 15 out from his own line. The game's most recent try scorer.
Yeah, you've got a feeling there's still a lot of football left to play. Also 25 minutes. So both teams are shifting the ball really well. Then they're looking for opportunities to make soft meters, come up with offloads and see if they can crack the defensive line. But it's still some really open football, end-to-end stuff. Quite enjoyable.
Watson open side right now for James Tedesco. He's collected in centre field there by Tallis Duncan and Kolomatangi. Watson saw there was no marker here, so he takes off from dummy half and eventually brought down by Cameron Murray on the halfway line. Walker dummy half, Cherry Evans. Wobbles down towards Jai Gray, and the fullback starts a new set there for South Sydney. He pinballs off one, got away from Toya, stopped now by Siwa Wong. 25 out, 10 in from the western side here at the Sydney Football Stadium. There's Alex Johnston with a centre field run, now the winger. And it's 28 metres out now from that southern line. It's the Roosters 18, Souths 12 here on ABC Sports. 17 gone, 23 left in this second half, which saw a delay of 15 minutes or so for Alex Johnston's record-breaking try. Cody Walker's been busy tonight for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Picked up at dummy half here by Mamazelis. Fires a pass left to Jai Gray. Batted back by only Tawase. It's going to be 6 more now for South as Jai Gray comes up with it. So a full set 30 out here for South, who trail 18-12. Way it comes here. Kolomatangi again. Putting his back down there by Nat Butcher. Play at 22 out, 20 in from the western side. Amazelis across now again to Sullivan, who will be playing it now. 15 out, dead centre field. 6 more now for the set restart. The ruck infringement going South's way. Totola to it in. 7 metres now, the Roosters line, northern end. Platinum Mazelis, left-hand side, Jai Gray. Dummies the pass here. He's collared by Cherry Evans. It's only play 2, make it 3 now for South, who trail by those 6 points. Mazelis across to Cameron Murray. Fends off Nafahu White. Tries to steamroll Nat Butcher. He's, by the way, dead centre. Mazelis dummy half. Off the right-hand side, low ball Sullivan. Off now again to Jack Whiten. He's propelling his way forward there in the tackle of Junior Ponga. 3.5 out from that northern line. It's come across the first receiver, Cameron Murray, and now Kolomatangi. Spun a full 360 by Siwa Wong. Almost knocked on by Fafita. Still alive here on the second last. Now it's been left behind by Mitchell. Passed on by the Roosters. Maybe they'll knock on here because Cherry Evans came in there as well. But it will be a Roosters ball, scrum feed. 15 out from their own line, I fancy. It remains 18-12 Roosters, 22 left in the game. Touchline we go, Ruan Sims.
There's been a few times when the ball's come out to the left that Latrell hasn't quite been able to grab a handle on it, and he knows straight away. He knows that was an opportunity for them to post some points and try and get back to a level scoreline. But I tell you what, the Roosters, they were putting themselves under a bit of pressure there, a little bit of ill-discipline creeping in with that fatigue factor, and the Rabbitohs really did look like they were on the burst, like they were going to be able to do something with that, so they'll be taking all of the time they possibly can for this scrum to suck in the big ones.
Nick from Maroochydore says, how many tries is Tupou behind Johnston? Could he overtake him? Well, he's 184. He's older as well. He's 35, Daniel Tupou. He's played more games. He's close to 300. He's 292 was his games tally, Daniel Tupou. So he needs probably one more big year of, you're looking at 30-odd tries, 20-odd tries, and then a couple more after that. Comes away here for the Roosters as Crichton surrenders, 30 out to his own line. Mazelis was tangled up with Sam Walker in back play. The play rolls on here for Lindsay Collins. The Roosters 18, Rabbitohs 12 here on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Premiership winner Dean Hallertau, World Cup winner Ruan Sims. NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Nafahu, what a good post-contact gain. Rips away from Mazelis. 40 outs in the field on play 4. Watson, the left-hand side now for Sam Walker. Catch and release to Angus Crichton. And coming in is Cameron Murray to put the tackle on him. 30 out, 20 in. Watson back to Sam Walker. High goes the kick. Jai Gray launches, brings it down comfortably. And South will go back on the attack. 8 out from their own line, Dean Hallertau. But it's the Roosters who lead 18 points to 12.
Yeah, again, more of the same end-to-end stuff from both teams. But Nafahu White, you mentioned the carry he had through the middle where he's able to break through a number of tackles. He just gives them so much change from their set. If they are getting dominated in defence, like they just pour through with the run from him and it gets them on the front foot.
And there's Alex Johnston with his gold number on his back. Special number for South Sydney. David Fafita on the left-hand side. Gains a quick 10 as well. Cherry Evans meets him. 40 out. Lost long-time Origin teammates. It's been lost by Cody Walker. He was the first receiver, and he spills that coal, 35 out from his own line. So, opportunity here for the Roosters, who lead 18 points to 12, 19 and a half left in the game here tonight. NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Ruan Sims on the touchline.
Well, I just went to have a quick little feel of their playing surface just to check if much dew had fallen, because there's been a lot of drop ball in the last sort of 5-6 minutes of play. Obviously, fatigue does play a factor, but there is not too much moisture on the surface. So a little bit more concentration, I think that's what Wayne Bennett will be asking for.
We've had some humid days in Sydney as well, but as you say, it doesn't seem to be the issue so far, at least tonight. Nafahu White, 22 out centre field. Play to Connor Watson. Tackle 3 here for the Sydney Roosters. Cherry Evans fires it back now again for Celesi Fiketti. So he is their 4th bench player used. That completes their bench. And I guess not 1 to 17 because Ponga's out there and Smith was ruled out last night, Billy Smith. 9 away centre field. 6 more here, a set restart for the Roosters. Tedesco in the corner takes on Latrell Mitchell. Now he's stopped here on play 2, the Roosters. Normally Tawaze waits at dummy half. It will be here a penalty going the Roosters' way.
Yeah, just overzealous there, Latrell. I'm not too sure There's old Origin teammate there in James Tedesco. They're just having a few words, but James Tedesco will settle things down here. It's an opportunity to go for 2 points and extend the lead to 8. But just sort of deliberating now. They're going to go for the 2, so Sam Walker takes over, I should say.
Penalty count 5-3 Roosters, scoreline 18-12, and of course, given that is only a 6-point difference, 2 points might be handy here for the Sydney Roosters. Tim in Lismore says these East v South games are becoming clunkier and more full of stoppages than the Bureau Meteorology website. Good on you, Tim. G'day. At the game now, and I've taken my old man Neil to the Sydney Football Stadium for his first time for his 85th birthday. Happy birthday, Dad, says Chris. Good on you, Chris. And Neil, for your birthday, 85 today. Meanwhile, Sam Walker lining up his second penalty goal for the game. He is 22 metres out and 10 metres in from the western side. Not far away from Ruan Sims, who we'll speak to very shortly. 0467 920 222. So Walker 3 from 4 overall tonight. Penalty attempt. He missed one much earlier to push the lead here beyond the converted try for the home side. Comes in and busted ankle and all. He makes no mistake. Roosters 20, Rabbitohs 12 here on ABC Sport. 17 minutes left in the second half. Back to the touchline, Ruan Sims.
Well, the numbers are in. There are 41,424 people in this incredible Sydney Football Stadium tonight. It is officially a sellout, all to see Alex Johnston break Ken Irvine's record and become the greatest try scorer in rugby league history. What a moment.
And in a few years, Roo, you'll have 80,000 people saying they were there that night to see it. That's how it usually goes, right? So,
absolutely.
Anyway, what was it again? 41,000. What was that number?
41,424.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ruan Sims. Back to you very soon. 16 and a half left in this second half. 20 points to 12. The Roosters have some breathing space for now, and the ball off the kickoff. As Feketi is nailed here, 10 out from his own line. He debuted last year round 1 against Brisbane. Scored his first and only try in round 15 against Newcastle. So Leslie Feketi. Roosters by 8 points. We love a tight game. I mentioned the average margin so far this year has been 20 points across the first 10 games of the season. Average points scored 49. This has not been a perfect game by any stretch, but it's an exciting one. Fahu White plays at the Watson. Now releases Egan Butcher, taken down there by Totola, and also Lachlan Hubner. There you go. So South have used 1 to 17 as their bench. 14, 15, 16, 17. That being on Mazelis, Duncan, Hubner and Kepi. Comes open side right. Last play here for the Roosters. The kick from Cherry Evans. High down towards Alex Johnston. Is wearing a special gold number I mentioned after his record-breaking feat earlier. 15 out from his own line. Tackled now. Cody Walker at dummy half. Spins it across right-hand side for Graham. And Graham is brought down. 25 out, 12 in from the eastern side. Open side left now again for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. As out there is Hubner, a former Dolphin. Scored a try last week. You'd love one here. The feeder back on the inside to Jai Gray. And Adam G said a push here off the ball coming back here, a penalty for the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I think it was Cameron Murray throwing the pass out the back after the pass is gone. He gets a shove from, it might have been Siwa Wong, or maybe Fahu White that he's pointing the penalty towards, but the penalty there, relieving penalty for South to get out of their own end, and that's the first opportunity that we've seen them down here for a little while.
So penalty for South. There's 2 footies on the field, so we'll have a break there. From Billy driving a taxi in Brisbane, how does Billy Slater rank in the overall try scorers? Yeah, he's third. So goes Johnston, now Irvine, so 213, 212, Slater 190, Daniel Tupou 184 with his 34th career try tonight in the first half. South have ball here, 25 out from the Roosters line. Murray off to Junior Totola, and he's brought down 25 out centre field. Only 40 games in his past 4 seasons, I think, for Totola. Comes back to the right-hand side, trying to spread the Roosters' defensive numbers here. Tallis Duncan, 12 out. Now it's played Mazelis and now Murray. On in turn, Walker and now Jai Gray. Left-hand side of the post, 5 away. On the second last here for South. Mazelis. Quick pass across to his captain Murray. Tries to fend off Nafahu White and he's slammed down here. 7 away. Upright, still an end here. Can South hit back? Go trail by 8 points. Cody Walker off to the feeder. Back to Walker. Pushes the pass wide. Too wide. Over Alex Johnston's head on the western touchline and it will be a Roosters ball. 10 out from that northern line. 13 and a half left here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Roosters 20, South Sydney 12. Ruan Sims on the touchline.
I know we've had a little bit of a stop-start game, but I tell you what, there's lots of hands on hips and lots of hands on heads out there at the moment. There's plenty of fatigue in this game with 13 minutes left. There's just going to be, can the Rabbitohs just maintain their discipline in defence and hem the Roosters in, or can the Roosters hang on to this 8-point lead?
It feels like a bit, doesn't it? 8 points at this stage, Dean Hallertau. Still 13 minutes left, as Roo mentioned, but Roosters have possession here. Hubner. It's the tackle down there on ball carrier for Keddy. Play to Watson. Adam G had called time off. We'll get back underway now. Play 2, as you heard there, for the Roosters. There is Egan Butcher. Had a knee injury a couple of years ago. Signed a contract extension last year for a couple more years beside brother Nat. Now the kick here for the Roosters, not quite the 40-20 as it comes up a few metres shy from Sam Walker. It remains the Roosters 20, Rabbitohs 12. There's 12 and a half left in this game on ABC Sport. Half-time in Perth, Matildas 1, North Korea 0. You can hear a full call of that via ABC Listen. And confirmation, as you heard from Ruan Sims, the crowd tonight, 41,424 have witnessed history. Alex Johnston scoring those 2 tries to become Rugby League's greatest ever try scorer. Campbell Graham now for South, 30 out. Adam Mazelis, and now across to Lachlan Hubner. This is scored against his old team last week. Tackled here in centre field by Nafahu White. Mazelis waits behind a dummy half. Off here now to Tola. With that shoulder injury too much of last year. A flat-boarded from dummy half to Cameron Murray. And he's placed on his back down there by Egan Butcher. They come short side left here, South Sydney for Feta. No real gain for him, maybe half a dozen. Last play, South who trailed by 20 points to 12 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Running last play, kick from Cody Walker. Ronnie Tawaze launches up that right edge for the Roosters. Lost the footy, picked up by Mitchell. South get it back cleanly.
Yeah, he did the all-and-none approach there, didn't he, Mark Nawonga into Tawaze, but the defenders did a great job to wait for him to land and then just force him straight towards the sideline.
Still 11 minutes left in Hallertau, but you'd think a try in one of these next couple of sets is non-negotiable for South. It's not been a high-scoring game either. Through centre field they come to Tola. Nafahu White stops him on the red paint of the 20. Dummy half and Mazelis across now Hubner. Whiten jigs his way past 1-2, kicks for the corner. Campbell Graham on the end of it. Well-placed kick from Jack Whiten. Nice finish from Campbell Graham. South do score the try and make it 20 points to 16. Kick to Karma Rabbitohs.
Well, a smart play there from Jack Whiten, who we know has had experience as a half. He's quite skillful. He jumps out the back. The defence had come shooting up, and it was Sam Walker trying to shut things down. He read the play from a long distance, but he felt their presence, Jack Whiten. He steps off the right foot to cut inside the shutting down Sam Walker coming through, but then he puts it straight on the toe. Knows that there's space in behind. Daniel Tupou's up and turned around, and Campbell Graham, very, very cool when he gets through. He gets the ball in hand, and a try there for the Rabbitohs.
After the touchline, Ruan Sims.
Well, you spoke about Jack Whiten having that experience as a half. That's going to be there for the next 10 minutes. He has moved to that right half position. Jaden Sullivan is off. Keon Koloamatangi is on for the Rabbitohs. So there is a big change there for South Sydney.
Okay, thank you, Roo. So, kick here. The assignment for Latrell Mitchell is 27 metres out and a few steps in from the eastern side. To close the gap, back to a 2-point ball game. 9:20 left with the clock counting down. Right side for left footer. In comes Latrell. He's 2 from 2 tonight. Make it 3 from 3. He puts his hands up, revs up the Rabbitohs fans, says the job's not done yet. 9 minutes left here. Roosters 20, Rabbitohs 18.
Yeah, we seen in the first half when the Rabbitohs scored their first try, that they really felt a lift in their energy, and you seen it the way they carried the ball, the support that arrived when they were carrying the ball, and have a couple of some offloads and really execute their play. So the Roosters are really going to have to shape up their defence here, not go too crazy and give away a penalty, but really be smart and solid with their defence.
9 minutes left here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Anyone's game from here. Souths and Easts. What a rivalry. What a game, what an occasion here on ABC Sports. South bring it back from the kickoff. 12 out from that southern line. Played down there by Latrell Mitchell. Now across to the right-hand side as Nafahu White wraps up the ball carrier. And Hubner gets up, just grabbing his sternum. Comes across to the right-hand side with Kalamatangi. Said he was part of the match last week against the Dolphins. The man whose Dragons bound for next year. And up here towards the 40-metre line, but will be penalty here. Rabbitohs for a high shot inflicted there by Egan Butcher. So this could be decisive field position for South Sydney. Dean Hallertau, who trailed by those 2 points.
Yeah, I just mentioned about wanting to get your defence right, but not wanting to go too far and give away a penalty. But this might not find the touchline. It's knocked back in.
Oh, it is knocked back in. Now Tedesco in open space. Burns away from Graham, over halfway. He's too quick for Hubner, who's still clutching his midriff, and Tedesco's eventually stopped by Cameron Murray, 35 out from South's line. So most of the set here for the Roosters, and now Nafahu White puts them 25 out. 20 points to 18 the scoreline, 7:45 left here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Wraparound ball comes from Cherry Evans. Back now to Feketi. Roosters on the attack. 15 out, 20 in from the western side. Watson fires at Cherry Evans to Walker. Tedesco. They spread the defence here. Ponga couldn't control it. Junior Ponga. But it was a forward pass anyway. Forward pass to Junior Ponga. And it will be a Rabbitohs scrum, 20 out from their own line. They trail by 2 points. It's the Roosters 20, South Sydney 18, 7 minutes and 10 seconds left. Ruan Sims back down to you on the touchline.
Well, there's a little bit of confusion down here on the touchline. We had a substitution about to go ahead. It got pulled back. I'm assuming it was for Lockie Hubner, but they're just going to play on and see how things go here. But they breathe a sigh of relief, and the Roosters, they're now the ones brewing a missed opportunity.
Yes, 20 points to 18. South scrum here. Jai Gray had some pace left-hand side of the scrum, and he runs this footy into Siwa Wong, 25 out. Latrell Mitchell dummy half. Centre field run now from David Fafita. He's stopped by Feketi, and also in there is Nafahu White, 35 out middle of the park. Play 3 for South Sydney. And now Mamazelis it is. Only gains a few more metres now for Fafita with the dummy half work off to Cameron Murray. Of course, returned last year to play that game against the Roosters in round 27 after he missed the entire year with the Achilles injury. Off to the right-hand side they go. South on last play. Getting up to play it now, Hubner. Mamazelis across to Cody Walker. He kicks with intent. High and long. Down towards that 20-metre line now where Normani Tawaze is waiting for it. Roosters back on the attack. He is so quick. Flick past to Rob Toyer. Darts on the inside. Takes on Mitchell. Takes on Cody Walker. And Toyer will play it now. 3 short of the halfway. Play 2 here for the Chooks. They lead 20 points to 18 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. 5:45 left, and now it's been stolen away by South Sydney. One-on-one steal by Mitchell. What a game he's had. Now over halfway. 40 outs in the field. South Sydney on the attack. As I said, 5.5 minutes left. Mamazelis off to Ewan Aiken. And he chooses the right edge where Watson and Nat Butcher are there to greet him. They come back to the left now, South. Walker to Gray. Slip past Toyer. A short little fullback there will play it 30 out, 10 in from the western side. Mitchell takes some pace out of the game. Cody Walker finds Fafita. And he's tackled 25 out. Last place, South Sydney. 20 points to 18. As they come short side left, Cody Walker, running kick, sets a task for Mitchell. Normani Tawaze through the air cleanly, brings it away. Gray's still prone on the ground here on his backside, gets up slowly. Normani Tawaze is taken care of down there by Cody Walker and Mamazelis. Dummy half, Cherry Evans. Off to Nat Butcher. Roosters back on the attack. 4:40 left. Their lead is just the 2 points in Hallertau.
Yeah, and Nwangani Tuase, once again in the air, he just commands space. He gets up high and he takes a brilliant catch like he has done all night. But it's so hard to get a read. There's so many twists and turns in this game. And you mentioned Latrell with the one-on-one and what he's been able to do. I think that there's been good contributions across the park from both teams.
4:25 left here at the Sydney Football Stadium. NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Nat Butcher will play on halfway. Watson, last play, finds Cherry Evans. He can kick high and long downfield. Johnston receives that high ball. Scored his 2 tries tonight, and Toya gets him. 20 out, only 5 in from the western side. Not far away from Roo, who we'll speak to very shortly. Jai Gray darts across the entire defensive line here, tries to find the gap there between Ponga and Walker. Tackled 23 out from his own line now. Campbell Graham goes for a run from dummy half. Ponga, second effort, grabs him 40 out. Play 3, make it 4 now for South, who trail by 2 points, 3.5 left. Right to left, they shift it now. Cody Walker onto Fafita. He steamrolls Toya. No, Toya hangs on for dear life around the legs. They come left-hand side. Latrell Mitchell flick past Johnston. Stopped by Nwangani Tuase, who takes him into touch. So great defence from Mark Nwangani Tuase. As South were rumbling back upfield, the home side still leads here. 20 points to 18 Roosters. 3 minutes and 9 seconds left. Touchline we go, Ruan Sims.
Well, I think it was a really great stop there by Nwangani Tuase, but take a bow, Rob Toya. Dave Fafita got the ball and looked like he was about to run straight over the top of everyone and charge down for a nice little offload. They were going to score again down that left edge. But Rob Toya went down low, grabbed those legs and hung on for a great tackle and forced that turnover. Well done.
Crowd getting more reminders, by the way, of not to enter the field of play, just in case there's a temptation to do so after the game. We saw a break of about 15 minutes after Alex Johnston's record-breaking try. Not bad considering maybe what could have happened. Anyway, Watson to the left-hand side, and now Nat Butcher tackled 5 short of the halfway. Play 3 now for the Roosters. Watson bursts at dummy half and shares it with Collins. Murray's there to stop him. He'll play it 40 out centre field. Cherry Evans, first receiver. Makes a bit of a break here, but Murray gets him eventually in concert with Fafita. Played to Watson. He's 25 out. Kick comes from Walker. Sets a task for Gray. A couple of players hit the deck in back play. Adam G has seen it will be penalty Roosters after Cody Walker took out Nwangani Tuase.
I think it might have been James Tedesco who's taken out. Now Cody Walker's won an argument with Nwangani Tuase, who just baited him a little bit, and it didn't take much for Cody to react. But the penalty coming because James Tedesco was looking for a way through, and Cody Walker took a direct right-hand step to knock him off his course. So the correct call from the penalty for the referee.
2 minutes left here. Penalty counts now 6-5 Roosters. By the way, a second goal for the Matildas, Sam Kerr, in the 47th minute after half-time. So they lead North Korea 2-0 in the Asian Cup quarter-final in Perth. We'll get you there for the rest of that game shortly after we hear from some of the reaction post-game, including, hopefully, Alex Johnston. So, Roosters will have it here. They'll tap. They lead by 20 points to 18. Minute 54 left. They'll tap 10 out from South's line. Can they ice the game here, the Roosters, and claim their first victory of season 2026? Time back on. Walker taps, shares it with Collins. And he straightens his run there into Aiken and also Murray. 9 away, right-hand side of the sticks. Watson dummy half to Nafahu White. He comes back here strongly on Mamazulis, and also in there to tackle him is Totola. Play to Watson. Probably saw an opportunity here, left-hand side of the ruck, who's now brought down 5 out left-hand side of the post. Dummy half here, Egan Butcher shares it with Cherry Evans. This is play 4 now for the Roosters. Minute 20 left here at the Sydney Football Stadium. This will now be second last play. To the left-hand side they go. Walker stops and then sort of just surrenders there with Keon Kolomatangi. Last play, Roosters. 7 metres out, left-hand side of the post as Walker's getting up slowly. Watson waits at dummy half. Cherry Evans off the inside of the boot now, goes into the in-goal area, and James Tedesco onto it beautifully. The captain can ice the game for the Roosters. minute to go. It'll be the Roosters 24, Rabbitohs 18. Kick to come, Chooks. That was just superb from two exponents. So much experience in there. Cherry Evans off the instep. The ball bounced under the black dot for James Tedesco, who timed his run to absolute perfection, Dean Hallertau. And this game is OVAH over.
Yeah, and that's the experience that you mentioned that you get from two guys that they understand the football game. They play faster between the ears than they do with their feet. Daly Cherry Evans, he's got pressure coming. There was a little bit of foxing at the play the ball from Sam Walker, trying to buy a little bit more time. But what that does, it puts a bit of pressure on the